I'm searching high, not low, as high as the mind can go. I feel the breeze, it's heading our way. Hold on to your dreams, hold on to today. We've got it all and I believe it's right. Sharing our dreams and our passions under sky shining bright. We've got it all.
Holding your hands, being alive. We've got it all, and I believe it's right. Sharing our dreams and our passion under sky shining bright. We've got it all, day and night. Now there been skies, but not like this one. They always seem too high to touch. Dreams are real and they've just begun. They're yours if you want them that much.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to another Tinfoil stream. I hope you're doing well. Let me fix some stuff real quick. I need to make that visible, and this visible, and I need to fix so you can see what I can see. Nope, that's the chat. There we go. It's important that we see Rem, obviously. Let's see what I missed. A bunch. We're already at 97% to level 4 on a hype train. Thank you, everyone. Let's see. The maid outfit is because I did like a dentist fund and someone paid for it, so you get 5 days of maid outfit in a row. This is day number 2. So what did I miss? There was an initial person that I can't see because they subscribed for 36 months. Who was it? That everything else is taken, yo. Thank you for 36 months. Auntie Pretzel, thanks for 14 months. Humiliated Grapes, thank you for gifting a sub and 200 bits. Exmo Jimbo, thanks for 32 months. Bumble Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub. Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Always coming in here and dropping subs to people. You're so nice. Bittergrin with 50 bits. And Fennikagami with 100 bits says, hello Hannah, just want to say it might be a good thing that you never got around to doing a collab with Illuminati. It seems Blair has a bad habit of going scorched earth on former colleagues. Makes me worried for the leftist mafia. I don't know about any of the drama. I stay away from internet drama. I just prefer not to comment on it. This is why I don't make friends. It's too dangerous. Anyway, how's everyone doing? 1% to level 5 on the hype train. Hats off. We're not doing well, I hate Twitch. What do you want me to add? Because if it's additive, like a flower crown, I can do that, but I gotta wear the ears. Wait, which one was the stream baby? The 36-month one? That stream baby's name is gonna be Elcor Markrat. Elcor Markrat. Do a flower crown? Sounds good to me. Let me just grab it. Let me position this, and then put the ears, and we can get started. We are doing bingo, so if you'd like to get a bingo card, feel free to do so. Fennikagami says it's probably a wise decision to stay away from drama as much as possible. Wise Hannah is. It's honestly not a great business decision. Drama actually brings people to the channel, but I just have too much anxiety to deal with it. And also, I hated high school, so reenacting it on the internet with other adults just sounds miserable to me. Okay, we are 5% to level 5 on the hype train. And while that's still going, I think we can probably jump into whatever, shall we? So let's find out. Oh, here's a good one. This is like 7 minutes long. It's a QAnon person interview that was done the other day on the 28th.
All right, so we are at a Donald Trump rally. Why don't you tell me your name and what are you doing here?
So my name is Mike. I'm from Merrimack, New Hampshire, and I'm here to see my favorite president in the whole world.
Your favorite living president or your favorite president? Because I feel like if Donald Trump is your favorite president, that's more than just like a racist issue. That's a not knowing history issue. Alley Cat, thanks for 22 months.
Donald Trump.
And why is he your favorite?
Because he says...
He tells it like it is. Sorry, MH Dark Beast. MH Dark Beast said, Hannah, did you see all the sexy 4K releases from Shout Scream I linked in Discord? All the Chucky goodness. I did. I am very excited for them finishing off the Child's Play 4K collection. I have the first 3, so... Oh, speaking of which, I did get, I got some Blu-rays in today that someone got from my wish list, so thank you for that. It is The Witches, based on the Roald Dahl book of the same name, which is an excellent 80s movie, sort of a, I don't even know how to describe the genre. It's a children's adventure movie, but it's kind of dark for a kid's thing, as Roald Dahl material tends to be. This is me mentions Blu-rays on the bingo card. Fuck. Send me Blu-rays, and you will get this space for free. Someone else sent About Time, which is a time travel rom-com thing, which is quite good. And someone got me the Jackie Chan Collection Volume 2, which is funny, because Baha and I watched Police Story 2 the other day, and she was like, let's watch the next one. And I was like, well, I don't own the next one. This does not have Police Story 3, but it's Jackie Chan, so that's fun. It's not Police Story 3, but it's 8 other Jackie Chan movies, including Wheels on Meals and Armor of God 1 and 2, so, like, that's a good box set. Thank you to whoever got this for me. Leave notes, by the way, so I know who gets it and I can thank you directly. Anyway, back to the conspiracy. 38% to level 5 with 20 seconds left.
Hampshire, and I'm here to see my favorite president in the whole world, Donald Trump.
And why is he your favorite?
Because he says, he does what he says. He gets it done.
Did he build the wall?
I believe he is, and I believe the mainstream...
But he didn't.
What do you mean you believe he is? He's not the president anymore. And he didn't do it well, president. I believe he is.
No. I believe that's just lies by the mainstream media, and they're covering up the truth.
You think the media is lying that there's secretly one of the largest construction projects in human history going on, but no one knows about it? Wow, that's impressive. Bumble Homestead with 500 bits said, did anyone even make that minor illusion spell or whatever the title was you talked about a while ago? I asked if Monk was going to taste some Amontillado when he went in a cellar, and now my kid is reading Poe. Did anyone even make that minor illusion spell or whatever the title was you talked about a while ago? I don't remember what we're talking about. I believe that whatever you're saying happened, but my short-term memory has not allowed me to retain information that would make that sentence make sense to me. And I apologize.
Win the election?
Absolutely.
And why isn't he in office?
You know what? I mean, if you know what this shirt means,
What does this shirt mean?
Q is it's
QAnon claimed as a source on the bingo card.
it's a mix of different things, but it's basically saying that the world is not how it seems. The media is all fake. The media is not reporting accurate information.
Not reporting that he is actually in office?
What I believe, what actually quite
This guy and Peter should hang out. By the way, guys, Peter does say he'll send me a bullet crown if I pay for the shipping. So, we'll see. We'll see.
a few Trump supporters believe is that
Starling CJ, thanks for 21 months.
Trump is still the president right now. He is running
You think Trump is the president currently?
a shadow presidency, possibly.
Ooh, a shadow presidency. Remember in the Constitution where it says shadow presidencies are very real and very legal? This meme is very real. Sorry, I accidentally restarted it. Where were we?
Seems the media is all fake. The media is not reporting
I made a joke about minor illusion versus minor illusion, and I liked it. Okay. I guess I don't remember that.
accurate information.
Not reporting that he is actually in office?
What I believe, what actually quite a few Trump supporters believe is that Trump is still the president right now. He is running a shadow presidency, possibly from Mar-a-Lago. The
Is Mar-a-Lago the shadow realm?
White House,
Is Donald Trump blue eyes orange president?
the real White House is shut down.
So you don't like how everything's going with him in office still?
So I believe that it's all a movie we're watching. That's what I have been told.
Who told you that, and why did you decide that the things that came out of their mouth were true? Why do you believe those things that were told to you? Is it just because they make you feel good? MH Darkbeast says, speaking of Trump, the bad AI art is just so laughable. Trump clearly got his fat ass stuck in a very tiny tank. Oh god, what is this? The bad AI art. The bad AI art. That is the weirdest fucking tank. What in the world? Like, I don't know a lot about tanks, okay? I don't think this is a good one, though. Like, I don't think this would be good for shooting anything. Isn't the barrel supposed to be longer than that? It kind of looks like Donald Trump is almost like a military Davros here. If anyone knows Davros from Doctor Who. It keeps restarting, and that makes me sad.
This comes out. No, this is information.
Like who else?
So, Biden, the real Joe Biden that was with Obama when he was vice president with Obama, he's been executed.
So that's like Tupac, Biggie. They have a replacement. He's a hologram.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. And
You really think that?
I do.
Reno Redhead, thanks for 32 months.
I genuinely believe it. I believe that we've been brainwashed our whole lives. I really do. And that the fake Biden is being played by. There's a few people playing him. James Woods.
James Woods. Let's look up some James Woods movies. Can he do it? Does he have the range? What does James Woods look like? Oh shit! Videodrome! Fuck! He got videodromed! Canadian Unicorn, thanks for gifting a sub. Have you guys seen Videodrome? Speaking of which, I know this is off topic, but I watched Crash the other day for the first time. The David Cronenberg movie Crash. It's pretty good. It's weird. It's a good movie, though. Oh yeah, James Wood is a chud, from my understanding. James Woods is a big chud.
Could be.
For those who don't know, the movie Crash is about people who are sexually turned on by car crashes. And the Lizard King himself, Ultron, is the main character in it. It's pretty good.
A few other prominent actors who are on Trump's side in a rubber mask playing Biden in an effort to...
Have you considered that James Woods' face looks nothing like Joe Biden, and that even if you put a mask on him, their head shapes are different?
Wake people up to see what the deep state had planned for us.
Come on, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Thought it was about a racist cop. That's a different movie called Crash.
No, I'm not kidding.
Isaac Inanimate with 17 months says, guess who won their disability case and can buy their own subby? Thanks for the 1.5 years of freeloading chat. Holy shit, congratulations. Fuck yeah.
No, I really... No, this is information. I'm not...
Okay, so if we're going to go deep state, how about RFK Jr.,
Deep
his
state.
uncle, famously
Deep state on the bingo card.
got his head blown off, and so did his dad. What do you think about the deep state doing that?
So, haven't heard much about the head being blown off, but I know that JFK Jr. is still alive, and he is going to eventually reveal...
Dead celebrity is secretly still alive and fighting the cabal on the bingo card.
How about John?
John, which one is that?
JFK
Jr. Yeah.
JFK Jr.
Yeah, he's going to be Trump's second vice president when all this truth comes out. You can't rely on the news, dude. You gotta turn to alter.
You can't rely on the news. You gotta go on 4chan and read the shit posts in between all of the slurs, and there are a lot of them. You'll get some real nuggets of information.
Alternative information.
This is a joke. Don't go on 4chan. It's dog shit.
Are these delegates? Who are all these people?
Who, these people?
Are you guys delegates? What are you all doing here? What is everyone doing here? What is this? Oh, so you're... I know it's a Trump rally. Are you delegates?
All I gotta say is that if Trump really was such a horrible human being, why would all these good people...
Why did it restart?
So I know it's a Trump rally. Are you delegates?
All I gotta say is that if Trump really was such a horrible human being, why would all these good people come out and still support him?
Why do you think they're good people? Why do you assume you're a good person? Profane Priestess says, Hannah, I got my final grades for the term back today. You're officially looking at a straight A student. Holy shit, good for you. I could never do that. I was B's. I breezed through with B's, at least in high school. Dropped out of college because of ADHD. Speaking of which, I might finally be getting properly medicated soon for ADHD. Can you imagine Hannah, but calm? Like, imagine me, but I can, like, sit still. I'll be unstoppable. Reno Redhead says, listen, Hannah, Robin Williams is still alive, and he's fighting the deep state by developing flubber in real life. I wouldn't be mad about that. Flubber made a flying car, so I think that's cool.
After all this, there must be something the media's doing wrong.
Is it possible they don't know what they're doing?
I see your point, but unfortunately it's not true. I think yes.
Yeah, Twitter sucks now. Like, everything works worse.
The Trump supporters just see something different in Donald Trump, and the media has convinced you that he is a racist, he is a sex...
No, I've seen him be those things. Sorry. His actions speak louder than whatever bullshit you're reading on 4chan. MH Darkbeast says, the best thing you can ever tweet to James Woods from his career... Oh god, from Scary Movie... Oh god, Scary Movie 2? Demon! It's just him shitting. Oh boy.
He's against gay people. He's a fascist. He's not any of those. He's just...
He is those things, sir.
He's just for the American people, and he's the guy to take down the entire system that has been controlling the world and, you know, controlling our way of life for centuries. He's the guy to basically change the whole system. He's bringing God back. He's bringing...
Lampita says, congratulations on possible proper meds soon. Didn't get a diagnosis till my 40s. Happy to hear younger adults advocating for themselves and succeeding. And Dr. Gamble says, speaking of ADHD, guess who was just affected by the ADHD medication shortage? Oof. That sucks.
So what do you think about the E.G. Carroll rape trial?
Say it one more time.
There's a Donald Trump rape trial going on right now. Do you think Donald Trump's a rapist?
Again, I believe that the media is trying. They will
This
lie
isn't the
about everything
media.
about Donald Trump. They will
Oh, fuck. It's a civil trial. It's not the media. What do you mean?
So we are at a.
actually real, you know.
It was Epps.
So January 6th, good supporters.
Rape trial.
Say it one more time.
There's a Donald Trump rape trial going on right now. How do you think Donald Trump's a rapist?
Again, I believe that the media is trying. They will lie about everything about Donald Trump. They will make up every single thing. They'll make up horrible accusations about people on Trump's team, like they did with Brett.
How about
But this isn't some random person making an accusation.
like the Weber
It's a civil trial.
v. Deck case, which involved Donald Trump?
I was gonna say one more thing, but with like Brett Kavanaugh, they fabricated that. I believe it was a total. It was another effort to take down Trump. January 6th was a setup to take down Trump and his good supporters.
Okay, so you don't think that Donald Trump stood outside the White House and encouraged people to do January 6th?
Okay. There's a whole story to January 6th. You can
I
look it
bet.
up. Go to bitshoot.com. That's a great website to get information on.
It's where I get a lot of material for Tinfoil Tuesday. Look at
Rally,
it fucking
why don't you tell me
restarted
your name?
again. What is wrong with Twitter? Why is it like this now?
You saw like the
It's just randomly restarting the video when I pause it. What the fuck?
people fighting with police officers, people fighting with, beating up and fighting, being violent and breaking glass. That was all staged. It wasn't actually real.
It was Epps.
No,
Oh, it wasn't Epps?
no. I really think it was. It was actually Antifa dressed in Trump gear to make you think they were Trump supporters.
Antifa.
Say that to the face of the people currently jailed for this. Let's see how they feel about you calling them Antifa.
Did January
Dr. Gamble says I can't even check the stock of any pharmacies because it's a controlled substance. Ugh.
6th, they dressed up. All those thousands of people were actors. They were leftists, and Trump had nothing to do with it.
Trump, you see, that was I've done my research, and
False flag
the
on the bingo
people
card.
on the west side of the building, that was what you saw on TV. People were breaking windows, but it was all done by professional stuntmen, photographers.
No, it wasn't! Fennec Kagami says, conservatives always assume it's the liberal media that convinced us that Republicans are bad people. They never listen to you when you tell them, no, it's the stuff I watch come out of their mouths. Even when they tell you they'd turn on Trump if he said X, and then you show them a quote of him saying X, they go, stop listening to the liberal media. Skifazoa says, are Republican leaders criminals? No, it's objective reality that's wrong.
Professional photographers.
Stuntman Antifa.
It was paid actors. It was paid actors.
Antifa and stuntmen.
It was just all paid actors set up by people against Trump to make it
Well, they've been arrested, hundreds of them, and that's not come up in any of the investigations. So no, you're wrong.
look like Trump incited a violent attack on the Capitol. But Trump and his real, actual supporters in their Trump gear were on the east end of the building,
Terradona says this is what you get when you fire most of your staff that knows your tech.
even one guy, Brandon
Yeah.
Strzok. I love you, Brandon Strzok. I hope you see this. It's
Brandon, he's that guy who spent a little time in the fake jail cell because he turned FBI informant, right?
Brandon Strzok is a good man. He's a patriot. He's a gay American.
No, he reached out to me and tried to get me embroiled in his weird FBI informant scheme.
Brandon Strzok is a good man, and
H-Beard says a lot of conservatives don't believe in good or bad actions. They believe anything a good person is good and anything a bad person does is bad. Everything flows from this. That's gross.
he
FBI informant.
nope, and he
FBI informant.
no, I seriously, Brandon, if you're seeing
It's on the paperwork.
oh, it's all an effort to take down the good people of this country.
Oh, cool. FBI informant.
Brandon Strzok is a gay man who realized that the Democrats and the left are not for any minorities or gay people. They just want their vote, and they don't do anything for them. They tell them they're a victim. Trump actually cares about everyone, including gay people like Brandon Strzok.
So you're a stand-up comedian.
No, I'm just a truth seeker.
All right, tell me your name again.
Mike.
You want your last name on here?
Not my last name.
Okay, but you're okay with me making this video and putting it out, right?
Put it anywhere you want.
All right.
YouTube.
Mike the Anonymous Miker. QAnon guy.
Where we go one, we go all. Go Trump.
Well, that was terrible. Jesus effing Christ. Let's endeavor to be less crazy moving forward as a society. I think that would probably be a good move, is if we just kind of collectively were like, let's take the crazy down a notch. Just like 30%. 30. You can get the rest. The rest is fine. It's time for the milk conspiracy chat. I, like many, have become lactose intolerant, so if I eat enough cheese, or drink something that's dairy, milk, whatever, or whatever, eat ice cream that is dairy, I need to take pills to help my body digest it. Otherwise, I will be in great pain for like a day. Jillian, of Jilly Juice fame, she's gotten to the bottom of this. MH Darkby says, remind me, Hannah, you were a fan of Babylon 5. Yes, I have never seen Babylon 5. Ever. People have told me to watch it, though. Oh, fuck, that is me bringing up cheese on the bingo card. Alright, there's another free space for you.
Okay, so I didn't talk about this, but about the milk, actually 6,000 years ago, that came from the cradle of humanity out of Africa.
I thought it came out of cows and other mammals.
Africans way back 6,000 years ago, they had cattle, they were drinking milk. The milk gene was prevalent in the African population. But with all the dying and reproducing, the tolerance, having a milk gene, was then bred out of the population. And so this is where you have to understand, like, the annals of history, ANNALS, which is like the register of history, the strata, just like your anus has a strata of different poop that will keep you looping or allow you to evolve if you release the demons.
Word salad on the bingo card.
Everything is connected. But even like the Bay Area, like when I mentioned in my last video of how homogenized and compartmentalized the East Bay was, where you had over there Brentwood, Concord, and Martinez, and those areas, Pittsburgh, Antioch, and then it went into then the Beverly Hills of the East Bay. You had Walnut Creek, La Miranda, Lafayette, Moraga, Orinda. Then you went through the Caldecott Tunnel to then start.
Mr. Blast, that's funnier than anything I've ever said in my life. Forced pasteurization on the bingo card.
Diversifying or bringing people together more so, not so compartmentalized. So then you have the university system, Berkeley. Okay, then you had all the professors and the students, UC Berkeley. And then you went through, and then you got into Oakland. I didn't mention Oakland. So there's Oakland, but then you have more of the African-American population. And then you had maybe a little bit of the white people in, what was it called? It starts with P, I forget. It starts with P. It's the pit, oh gosh. Something Hills. The Oakland Hills, but there's another name for it. Oakland Hills. The Oakland Hills. And then you got into Oakland Hills, California. There's something else. It was named something else. I forget the name. To the Bay Bridge into San Francisco, where that was the melting pot.
What does this have to do with milk?
And so, when you think about milk produces life.
For mammals, the young of mammals typically sustain themselves for the first little bit of development after birth off of the milk of their mothers. Yes, that's a defining feature of mammals.
And milk actually produces the mucus to release the demons, to give you a carrier force to release the demons. And why is it?
Are you telling me I have demons in my tits? That's pretty cool. Profane Priestess says, what? No, the opposite is true anthropologically. Everyone used to be lactose intolerant, but over time the new gene has become dominant. I believe the mutation first emerged in Russia, but don't quote me on that specific part. She's not just wrong, she's as wrong as it's possible to be. Hbeard says, I've been to Berkeley. You legit will smell weed smoke at least once a block. Even the random guy I met there who wanted to show me his surgery scars and wanted to know if the speed of light was 30 miles per hour would call this crazy.
That now the Nordic population is more milk tolerant and lactose tolerant versus the African American population. When they were the one.
Moira Soma says this is wrong. It's the Scandinavians who has the least amount of lactose intolerance of any ethnic group, about 3%, because we wouldn't have survived up here in the cold without the milk and butter cows gave us. Yeah.
Ones way back 6,000 years ago that brought milk into the culture, and then it's been cultured out of certain populations. And that's why you have certain cultures like the black population have hypertension, have issues with high blood.
You think hypertension is due to lack of milk?
Pressure.
We need 30 cc's of milk, stat.
And other types of melanin issues and things that where they have to get vitamin D to be able to have some kind of balance, because the melanin is blocking the UV sun rays, and there's so much dying and reproducing, no one is evolving. And so, let me just go. Yeah, there's interest. And so, yeah, so the compartmentalization in the Bay Area showed you that you have the white population subsisting on milk, black population probably not so much, if they even at all. And then you're seeing, then that's the experimentation. Then you're seeing biotech figure out what's going on and get every genome out there, and you can breed someone to be deficient, to be intolerant to food. You can breed people to be intolerant to food and be intolerant.
Who are breeding people
to milk and meat and eggs and all that, and that's the dangers of.
I don't think people are typically being bred, like, forcibly with random people they don't know to achieve lactose intolerance. That's a weirdly specific fetish. Not just a breeding fetish, but like a force breeding fetish that specifically results in you not being able to handle dairy. Like, that's it's specific, but there are 8 billion people on this planet. One of them's got that fetish.
Of allowing somebody else to bioengineer you and being afraid of symptoms. Okay? And so somebody bioengineered certain people to stay away from milk and made it popular with the Nordics. Even though it came from Africa, it was very popular in Africa as a staple 6,000 years ago. And then some of the Africans became scared of milk and became lactose intolerant.
What do you mean they became scared of milk? What the fuck does that mean?
Greek mythology. When you think about actually the Greek system was all about flipping the script. Making the
Greek mythology was all about flipping the script? What the fuck does that even mean?
Caucasians stronger than the African Americans as far as longevity. Okay? So you can have African Americans be really strong and have that muscle.
Oh, Grizzler guy, thanks for gifting a sub.
And that quick reaction time. And then, of course, breeding a whole type of cultural phenomenons, like in the Olympics and sports and entertainment. But in reality, why can't the African Americans be just as evolutionary as the Caucasians? And
just as evolutionary. Okay, so the implication here is she thinks that different quote-unquote races of people are either more or less evolved, which A, isn't how evolution works, and B, is so fucking racist. So fucking eugenics-y racist. No. Mm-mm.
And tolerant and intellectual, and not just be used as an entertainment piece.
When did Jillian get so fucking racist?
Okay? And so now scientists have found some of the oldest evidence yet for dairy drinking. People in modern Kenya and Sudan were ingesting milk products beginning at least 6,000 years ago. That before humans evolved the milk gene, suggesting we were drinking the liquid before we had genetic tools to properly digest it.
I mean, that kind of makes sense. In desperate situations, I'm sure people drank it. I'd imagine that's how we ended up developing it in the first place, is people drank it out of desperation, like when they needed it or whatever. And then eventually someone had a mutation that allowed them to digest it a little bit, and then they eventually had kids or descendants that could do it a little better, and over time it happened, because that's how, like, things develop. Andy Pretzel says, wow, you're almost as racist as fucking Lovecraft, Jillian, as contemporaries were like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. Or rather, I guess I should say, I would imagine people were drinking milk in desperate situations at some points, and then at some point, the people who could derive some nutrition from it and handle it because they had mutations, survived more because they had more calories available to them.
But they were a strong population back then. That's the thing. And then somehow it was bred out of the population. And then, of course, the Nordics down the road, when that's why we're saying nowadays, who has the tolerant gene to milk? It's the Nordics, because they bred it out of the African American population.
No, they didn't.
Now the African American population needs to figure out what's going on and start taking back their culture.
Doing the people. Oh! Somebody! Oh! We need some milk!
Okay.
Apparently African American culture is drinking milk. I don't know.
And so me crossing the railroad tracks, understanding the black population, was another awareness of how the split in our society was developed, even over there in the Bay Area. But even...
I didn't know that was going to get really loud. I apologize. The original does not, to my knowledge. Where's the part where they said need some milk?
They putting all kind of shit in that mojo. Milk!
There it is.
Shit, I ain't going over there. Grab my ass. He on that mojo, girl. Get him some milk!
Some whites don't drink milk, that they're lactose intolerant. They will not.
Milk, I can do cheeses, in particular cheeses that don't have a really high fat content. I'm okay. I'm all right. Although at this point, I still take dairy aid stuff if I'm gonna, like, sit down and eat cheese or, like, pizza or anything with, like, a large quantity of cheese. If cheese is a main ingredient, I'm probably taking the dairy pills at this point. I can't drink milk. I'm very white. I'm a very white person.
Not drink milk. They will not do anything, or even eat meat too. So we have the destruction.
What's the best cheese? I like Parmesan. Ping Conning is also really good. Like Ping Conning sharp cheddar.
Of even some of the cultures. So nowadays you look at who has been scared away from milk: the East Indian, the Asian, the Jewish people, the African Americans.
There is lactose-free milk. I don't drink dairy milk. We use oat milk in this house. We use oat milk and we use vegan butter and stuff.
You can see...
Typically. There have been times I've gotten stuff for other things or had like a chocolate milk for nostalgia's sake or something. But Mr. Whiskers says the best cheese is the cheese in our hands.
If you Google who are lactose intolerant, well, that was engineered.
Oat milk is better than almond milk, in my experience. It's creamier, I think it tastes better, and it's also better for the environment. The production of almond milk, I think, uses more energy and water and stuff.
That was bioengineered into your culture.
Either way, I don't care. Do what you want. That's my personal.
And then why is it that those in North Europe are so tolerant to milk and they're built like brick shit houses? Because it was a whole engineering. See, wow. You see, history is written by the winners. History is written by those who want to bioengineer society to do a certain thing and be a certain way. I mean, me coming from that background of being psychologically engineered and probably even physically engineered, biophysically engineered, and me leaving that and going and visiting another culture and understanding their culture, and then even looking back on all of that and looking back in the 1960s and the development of the gang culture, development of the homogenization of all the religions and out there, it's like, holy crap, it's like you can't stop.
You think all religions have homogenized? Don't know about that. Gitara says, as an African American, I'm pretty sure milk isn't a cornerstone of our culture. Also, scientists don't have a concrete answer as to why some ethnicities are more or less likely to be lactose intolerant, but it's more to do with how dependent our ancestors were on dairy, not based on how evolved we are or because of, quote, Nordics bioengineering people. MH Darkbeast says we need to get this for Hannah to review on the channel, and it is a picture of mac and cheesus, which appears to be mac and cheese, but with Christian-shaped pasta. We have a Jesus face, we have a Jesus fish, and we have a crucifix. Shapes pasta, pretty good. I mean, all pasta has a shape. All matter has a shape. But I mean, like, you know, pasta that's like little pictures of SpongeBob or unicorns or whatever. Holds the cheese well.
At just one place. You just keep going and going and going. You're like, holy shit. Then you realize your whole society, everything is engineered.
If you're an adult, I would recommend that at least once a year you get a box of Shapes mac and cheese from Kraft. It's very nostalgic. Do it. Hydrate.
Even here in Ohio. When I knew in my gut, when I was talking to that teacher, when I was at Toastmasters, and she was a born-again Christian, and I'm saying, you know, and she's also a teacher, yeah, and I'm saying, you know, I think people here in Ohio were bred and engineered to be in the type of a blue-collar world. Well, of course. I mean, you have your little smatterings of higher education, like the Cleveland Clinic and Ohio State University and Kent State, but there's a lot of blue-collar workers in this town, so of course you're going to have technical schools that do welding and driving trucks.
Auntie Pretzel, what do you want for a hats off? It can only be additive, so I still need to wear the cat ears, but everything else is negotiable.
And throwing steel and doing landscaping and all that. So you have to understand that each area has an engineering
Foil crown? Okay, I can do foil crown.
of biotechnical engineering and an economical engineering of their specific given society. And then you have to understand that when they don't need that anymore in certain areas, and even in the Bay Area and or in blue collar communities, when they don't need that type of innovation, then the environment changes. And so what used to be a calmer environment where you can kind of get ahead
No, she doesn't mean aliens. She means literally human beings in Nordic regions. Gitara says, correction, Jilly, I'm pretty sure Ohioans were engineered to be Michiganders' bottoms.
your different diseases. Now,
Excuse me, I'm from Michigan and I'm a bottom, so...
in this environment, if you don't understand how to
take offense.
feed those energy symptoms that you were scared away from, then that will actually take over and destroy you faster. There's fast-moving cancers nowadays that you get diagnosed one day and you die from it the next day because you can't get ahead of it because you've been scared.
Pretty sure that depends upon what kind of cancer it is and how late you detect it.
You've been scared away from milk, you've been scared away from meat, you've been scared away from eggs, fruits, and vegetables, but you don't want to live your life on fruits and vegetables because you need the meat and the milk, or you need the protein and the milk. But I like a nice marbleized steak versus a soy drink, okay?
Marbled. Marbleized isn't a word.
And so you got to realize that's what's going on right now, is that people are scared of their symptoms. I don't mind feeling heart palpitations. Somebody that just came on watching me did a sad face on the picture of myself where I said I had heart palpitations. That's not a bad thing. What people do when they feel
Pretty sure that is a bad thing.
heart palpitations is they go take a drug to stop it. They go take some herbal supplement to stop it, and then they stop their body from being able to release and work the way it's supposed to.
Oh, she's gonna die.
That's the medical holistic system and the herbal system and the shaman system and everything that has to do with a cure like the cannabis system, the Rick Simpson oil system, is to stop your body from evolving and changing and adapting to its surroundings. And then you're not being given the food. You've been scared away from food systematically. So you're starving, and the environment thermodynamically is cannibalizing people. Literally cannibalizing themselves, their children, and everyone around them.
Boxy pulling their weight today. True. Yes, word salad.
And so you have to realize that, like, you know, drinking cream, not even really milk, but drinking cream is going to help feed the demons so you can release them.
Is she drinking straight cream?
And it's going to take time. It's not...
That could explain the heart issues. Just sitting there drinking fucking cream.
not instantaneous. People want everything.
Andy Bretzel says, if you have serious heart palpitations, please see an effing doctor. Signed, someone with a family history of obesity and heart issues.
Everything instantaneous. That's the reason why you are where you are today, where they're super skinny. And
Artemis, thanks for 28 months, says, hey Hannah, happy 28 months. I've been meaning to say something for a while and hope it doesn't come across as rude. But I'm pretty sure you got infer and imply mixed up. For example, I think it should be CC implies his wife hates him on the bingo card. Okay. It's a possible mistake for sure.
deficient, or obese and deficient, malnourished. Because
How's Hans Wormhat? Boring. He hasn't done anything good in a while.
everything has to be like that to people. No, you have to go through the process. You got to suffer through your predisposed issues of the release process, and also gaining of the intelligence and keeping the intelligence. But too many people want the shortcuts. That's why they are dealing with cancer, disease, and chronic illness and autoimmune disorders.
Have I watched Mud Fossil Guy? Yes, I haven't lately, I don't think.
And they can't get out of their homogenized politics, religion, science world, because everything has to be like that. They're being sold a surgery, they're being sold a supplement, a detox, a tincture. They've been sold a yoga or a workout routine.
I hate when I get sold a faulty yoga. Altered Undying says, hi Hannah, just joining the stream. Hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you are too.
Or massage therapy. They're being sold everything under the fucking sun because there's so many people out there who are suffering, looking for the next latest and greatest cure. And even the J world, you don't want to be cured. You use J juice to wake up the demons, but nowadays you don't even need J juice to do that because the environment is highly ionic. You don't need an ionic drink.
The environment is highly ionic. What about Peter? He hasn't done anything. I've talked to him a little bit, though. Gnome Pickles says they're being sold, is that what you give your juice? Is that why you give your juice in programs for free, Jillian? She's upset that people are buying things other than her program.
Like we did.
I don't even think she's that into Jilly Juice anymore. I think she's on this milk kick now.
A couple of years ago before climate changed. Now you just have to wait every weekend for the climate to shift, and you will feel shit to come up, and you have to feed it and release the demons. And there's a...
Are you confusing climate with weather? Because the weather changes, like, weekly. The climate changes over longer periods of time. Don't get me wrong, it's changing too quickly right now because of human... human shit, but generally week to week isn't climate change. It's, it's weather. Moira Soma says, I wasn't here for the beginning. How's your poor gums, Hannah? Got them fixed? Not yet. Not yet. Soon.
Particular way to do that, if you're going through that transition of bringing in the meat and the milk into your world that causes potentially anaphylaxis.
I've been putting Oragel on, so.
Or other types.
It's at least keeping me all right until the appointment.
Types of or things that you have a way to release those demons without you using aggressive elements. But that's in my book. But people must be drinking cream/milk. You need that.
If I tried to drink straight cream, I would die.
Fat, you need the mucus buildup. You need the life. Milk is life.
My body has enough mucus. I'm good.
Cream is life. And it was taken away from the
just packed with goo.
African American population systematically and given to the Caucasians in Northern Europe. That even the Jews have been scared away from milk. They were told to only, to not cook with meat and milk together.
I don't think you're quoting that correctly. You were not... The Bible, the Old Testament says you're not supposed to cook like meat in its mother's milk or something like that. I don't necessarily think that just means any. I could be wrong, though. Someone correct me. I know the specific thing in the Bible is that you're not supposed to cook a ewe in its mother's milk. Is that overt anti-Semitism? I don't know. I think she's just stupid. Like, I don't know if that was anti-Semitic. She just doesn't understand what Judaism teaches. Overthought says, the only cream that is life to me is Wu-Tang kind. Cash rules everything around me. Jitara says, milk is life. That's why all mammals have evolved to not need to drink it past a certain age.
Okay, so you know the Jews aren't running the world.
No meat of any kind with milk? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I apologize. Jillian was correct.
Okay? And so you have to understand that you now have to be the one to save yourself. Because you can't save anyone else out there. You can't determine if someone can handle that process or not. So you be a representation of you transitioning to life versus promoting death everywhere, in politics, in religion, and in science. Because that's what permeates our society, is the death culture. And so milk is a life culture. The J-Juice was waking up the demons so you can take a look at yourself if you can handle looking at yourself. Some people can't. Some people can't even handle my videos. They don't like them because...
I'm right about what the Bible says, but observant Jews generally don't have meat-dairy combos. Okay.
As they're looking in the mirror at themselves, they have suffered their whole life, and me just confirming that they have suffered and I'm facing my demons, it makes them angry. I understand when you look at yourself and you don't like what you see. So you won't like something because you can't handle looking at yourself. But you can't also tear your eyes away from it either. Part of you is attracted to my information, which is why you watch it and you don't like it. And I'm okay with
No, I think people just think you're funny.
that. Because maybe at some
No,
point...
she said Jews don't rule the world, I think.
you will face your demons and life will win out versus the death in your body and the death and destruction of your
Black's Law Dictionary request. What would you like me to look up, H?
lifestyle and your belief
Toxaholic, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs.
system. But maybe it's not in your cards either. And so that's what people are now facing is the battle between life and death in their body, in their mind, in their spirit. And they are surrounded by the demons in their world. And some people have a hard time relinquishing themselves from that. Because it's also embedded in their religion, in their culture, in their country. Because you look at like Pakistan and India, when you have the worshiping of the cows and the milk, then you have all the heavy spices that take away from that.
What's a heavy spice?
That's why there's a billion people
Can
in
you define a heavy spice?
India, because you have all the life and then you have all the...
Mayhem, the crime of maliciously injuring a person's body, especially to impair or destroy the victim's capacity for self-defense. See battery. 2. Violent destruction. 3. Rowdy, confusion, or disruption. Maim.
curries and the spicy food to develop the mutations. What if you just had the milk, like the mango lassies, don't eat the spicy food, and you release the demons with my method? You eat the meat, the milk, and the cheese and the eggs, but you stay away from the curries. You stay away from the cayenne peppers. You stay away from the jalapenos.
So she wants people to drink cream and avoid spices.
You stay away from the really spicy food. So I remember going to an Indian restaurant a couple of years ago when I pretty much purified my body and I ate a bunch of the spicy food. I felt like I was drunk. Like I felt so weird after eating
Ooh, Marcel's Facebook profile. Thank you.
all that Indian food on a body that was basically purified on some level. I won't eat any more Indian food.
1 second. I'm gonna check that link real quick. Yep, that's him. Here's what Marcel posted on Facebook recently. I just want to say a big thank you to all the women of this planet. You all make life worth living, be it walking down the street or at the gym. You are all goddesses in your own right, each unique with your own worlds going on with you. The emotions, the beauty, the soul. I know most men don't tell you this. The most was in all caps. And if they do, too many, all caps, wrong version of two, do it in creepy ways, but you make every day as a man worthwhile. Even if we never speak, just the look in your eyes, the beauty of your being knows that this man loves you all, and I appreciate the beauty, soul, and sacred beings you are. Regardless if you are a supermodel or working on yourself, happy, sad, angry, drugged up, or super functional. You all make being a man worth it and give us something to strive for daily. You are the reason men try to become more, to be worthy of you, and sometimes to even be the dad to your children. Sending love and appreciation to you all. Thank you for being the grace which makes each day special in a million ways. You are God's gift to man. Namaste. Oh, Marcel. Marcel was in jail. He got out of jail, unfortunately. So he's doing stuff again. Oh, he's doing some event on the 20th? Yikerinos. Maybe it's just an event he's attending. Anyway, I'll save this for Sobsit stuff. Thanks for the link. Was he charged or was he just in a holding? I genuinely do not know. I wish I could tell you. As soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. No! No! You'll just shit! You can't hear the video. Sorry.
Okay, you have the evolution, yes,
I'll go back
because
a
you
little.
splash of ginger, a little splash of, but...
You reported this as anti-Semitism today and got the response that no violation was found. Is Twitter just run by Nazis now? I imagine whatever it is, I'll click on it without it being on screen. If it's anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's anti-Semitic. Probably just no one checked it. It's a picture, which would require a human being probably actually looking at it for 3 seconds, and Twitter doesn't have the staff to do it. So I imagine all, reports like that are just getting put through a bot that searches for the text of, slurs, and if it doesn't find them, it doesn't take it down. That's a guess, though.
But I don't do spicy foods. Because that's what causes then the demons to develop. Okay, you have the evolution, yes, because you're having positive and negative come together, but if you don't release those demons, and there's so much energy being used from that, okay, then that develops the demons to then cause the cannibalization of you. And so I have no reason to eat spicy food. No reason at all. I have my cream, I have my coffee, I have my meat like a hamburger, I'll have eggs, I'll have cheese. That's the extent of it. That's so easy. That's why McDonald's is so amazing. Because you have your milkshake, you have your burgers, and you have your salad. You don't really need anything else when you think about it.
Who's ordering a salad at McDonald's?
You really don't need anything else. But we have all these religions that develop all this crazy food, which is good. But can you subsist on...
Do they even sell salad at McDonald's anymore? I thought they discontinued that at some point because no one bought them.
Tomatoes and celery and cucumbers. No, if all you eat is vegetables, you turn into a vegetable.
Your demons are only satiated by Sour Patch Kids. I hope they get some Sour Patch Kids soon. They deserve it.
Look at the skinny people in our society that can't handle any meat or milk. They have a hard time with that. Why? Because they turn into a vegetable and a noodle.
What?
All the gluten-free people, now they're just eating grains and rice and they don't even eat the meat. And if they do...
Gluten is contained in... What? In grain. Wheat is a... Whatever.
It's not too much meat because they say it causes, diabetes.
Yeah, gluten is... What is she talking about? Does she even know what gluten-free is?
Or other shit. Oh my God. All right, so African Americans, you need to understand that you have been scared away from symptoms. You've been scared away from the proper nutrition. You've been turned into all muscle, and then not properly understanding how to use your fat to your benefit. And so you got to realize that milk is the nectar of the gods, and it was actually taken away from those that were started.
It's actually just something that mammals produce. Dr. Gamble says McDonald's burger is like 50% pink filler, you know, the stuff that's left over when you used all the good healthy meat. It's McDonald's. People don't expect it to be healthy. Gnome Pickles says, good to see she's keeping up with her stellar understanding of nutrition and science. And H-Baird says, you laugh, but turning into vegetables is a big problem. You feel like she went on this whole rant just to justify having an Oreo McFlurry? Maybe.
Moisture! Moisture! I need moisture! Wonderful, wonderful. We better stay with him or we'll miss the transformation. Moisture! Moisture! I need moisture!
Reminds me of the SpongeBob water.
The cradle of humanity, which is out of Africa.
That's from Lost in Space.
But why was that? Because even 6,000 years ago, the Anunnaki or whoever it is that came down from...
Damn it, that's aliens on the bingo card. Anunnaki are aliens. At least according to conspiracy people.
Whoever, wherever, I have no idea. They wanted to develop a slave class. And enslavement, it could be all the different colors of the world. Now, the system is setting everyone free. And you enslave yourself. You enslave your kids. But the system is not. They're giving you a choice. If you choose to stay homogenized, fine. That was your choice. If you choose to not understand my information, understand that you're being set free, you're being given a chance to save yourself, that's on you. It ain't on me. It ain't on the system. It ain't the system now, because remember, we were all told something way back when we were born and way back when we were brought up. Some people are still told today because they don't want their kids seeing any new information, because somebody's parents will lose control over their kids. That's when you know you have a parent who's a cult leader who will not give their kids any new information. They want to be the cult leader to their own children and destroy their own children and their friends and their family and everyone around them. But now it's you that's doing it. It's not the system. You're being given everything. You're being given every single choice in the matter. So good luck. Bye.
Wow, that all felt so condescending and racist. Gitara says, quote, African Americans, they're scaring you away from nutrition, end quote. Yes, by screwing around with our communities and making it harder for marginalized people to, by making it so you can't drink milk. Damn it, Jillian, you were so close. Ah, Jillian. Let's take a look at the bingo. We got a lot. Let's see. Hannah mentions cheese. PSYOP. Dead celebrity is actually working to overthrow the powers that be. Aliens. Believe that's it for page 1. Fun fact, milk glands are mutated sweat glands. Egg-laying mammals still sweat milk. Oh, great. That's disgusting. Is it just wrong to want to hunt down all the platypuses? Oh, right, word salad. Sorry, I missed it. Platypuses break the rules. I'm just saying. Stop laying eggs. You're screwing up the whole system. Where was word salad? There it was. And false flag. Is that on this page or is that on page 2? Let's say page 2. No, not anti-Semitism. She's just being dumb. Satanic with the demon stuff. False flag. Hannah mentions Blu-rays. Ancient wisdom. Just the whole, like, you used to drink milk, so drink it now. Shit. Anonymous 4chan. Any other chan. Q claimed as a source. Where was that? Actually, I don't think 4chan was mentioned. I mentioned 4chan, but no one else did. So we need Q claimed as a source. And I think we're good. Where is Q claimed as a source? There it is. Puppet milk. Puppet milk. Idiot thinks they're a genius. You know what? Sure. Jillian was condescending enough that I think that counts. Okay. Anything else? Rin, thanks for the raid. Hello, raiders. How's it going? Doing Tinfoil Tuesday. We're filling out the bingo card right now. Line between Chudwatch and Tinfoil Tuesday? Yeah, for the first guy. For the first guy. That's true. Line between Chudwatch and Tinfoil Tuesday thins. You're living in fear? What numbers you're living in fear? Slowly chipping away at the subathon timer. Nice. 9 hours left. Well, I believe in you. The deep state was the deep... Oh, you're the first guy probably mentioned the deep state. She name dropped Dracula. I don't think that counts. They got to be talking about vampires like they're real, not just referencing fictional vampires. Oh, someone said 72. Let me take a look. You're living in fear. Yep. There it is. Cool. I keep deepening my voice for no reason, and it's frustrating.
Okay, this is good. Free, sustainable energy. We have this technology. It's called magnets.
Insert ICP clip.
How long can you hold two magnets this far away from one another before they stop pulling? Before they stop making energy? You'll die long before those magnets run out of power.
I am so curious where he's going with this, and his understanding of all of this is probably so bad.
Before they run out of magnetic pull.
Okay, so you can create so electromagnetism. You can create electric current by running copper wire around magnets, right? You can generate electricity, which is generally how we produce electricity, is we use something like coal or steam or whatever and effectively move a turbine that does this. It generates electricity by moving magnets, either a magnet within some sort of coil or a coil around a magnet. This is the way that we generally produce electricity already in the world. That's how it works. Only, I think, like, solar power is basically not this. Like, even nuclear power effectively is just using nuclear stuff to heat up water, turn it into steam to move turbines. Same thing with hydroelectric power. You're using water to move turbines. Same stuff. So what does he think? is going on? Dr. Gamble says free energy, and every electrical engineer screamed in furious agony. There was no such thing as free energy. Thermodynamics does not allow it. The magnetic field has to change to induce a current in a wire. Simply putting a magnet in a wire and leaving it there won't produce anything. Yeah, that's why you need to move like a turbine or something with it, so it's like generating the electricity. This is like high school shit, and I'm sure my understanding is rudimentary. It's the high school understanding. It's a stupid understanding, but it's more than he understands, I guess, so that's nice.
You'd be long dead. It could be 1,000 years, but those magnets will still always generate that energy.
It's not... What do you mean here? Like, how do you intend to harness the magnetic force here? Because what's going to happen is if you let go, they're just going to go together, and then you would have to input energy into the system to pull them apart. Like, what do you think just the magnet in and of itself, the magnetism is energy that we can harness? Dr. Gamble says, also magnets lose strength over time. They do.
We need magnets, some copper, and something that spins. It's a
Yes, this is how basically all energy generation works.
turbine. That's what a turbine is. Here's the problem. So if every household has its own sustainable energy source that lasts 10,000 years...
Okay, again, what do you think is making the turbine move? You need to move it. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, I think he's misunderstanding the potential energy between two magnets held apart.
Who is flipping the bill for all the power lines? Can you imagine having to take down every single fucking power line and all the posts? Those are just useless.
You stupid motherfucker. How does he think energy is generated at power plants? I'm so confused. I'm so goddamn confused. Dr. Gamble says I had to. Oh god, what is this? Here, yeah.
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work? And not
Chiba Hawk says, Engineer of the Year over here, everyone. Next he'll patent this wheel I've heard of.
You can just buy this tiny little thing that can fit in the palm of your hand, that's safe, and it can produce enough energy to power your home for like 55, 60 bucks, tops.
How much energy do you think a tiny magnet and a little thing of copper produces? Like, let's say you literally sat there and you had made a little mechanism, which you could do if you wanted, like with wire, copper wire and the little magnet you bought, and you like had a little crank where you moved it or whatever. That would not produce very much energy. You idiot. He has no sense of scale. Atheist Brony with 28 months says power in power plants, gerbils on wired treadmills, just like in the cartoons. A magnetic field has to move to produce electricity. You need mechanical energy to move the magnets. Why do people keep repeating this? I said this. I explained that you need to move it. I know. I said that. Bittergrin says, just connect the magnet to your perpetual motion machine, obviously. That'll do it.
And never have to pay for hydro ever again?
Do it. If you think that this is legitimate, whatever you're thinking in your head, do it, you stupid asshole.
Who's flipping the bill for taking all that shit down? Who's gonna replace the jobs?
It's a lot cheaper to take stuff down than it is to put it up. I don't know if you know that.
Of all those people, I mean, at first you could probably just say, okay, we're gonna convert everything over to sustainable energy and start making these things, but
he legit doesn't understand that this is already how electricity works in the world everywhere.
After all the power lines are ripped down, after all those posts are ripped out of the ground, make log cabins out of them, I guess.
Like, seriously, does he think at, like, the power plant, they're just, like, setting a fire, and then somehow the fire just becomes electricity and travels through the wires? How does he think we generate electricity, usually? I'm so confused.
Then what? Who's gonna lose then? That's the fucking reason. So here's the thing, okay? We already use this technology, except someone owns massive turbines and they pump the electricity through these power lines that go millions of miles before it gets to you.
Millions of miles. Logarth says, hey McFly, you bojo, hoverboards don't work on water unless you got power. Dr. Gamble says, also, if you're interested, here's a channel that does a lot of science experiments with very powerful magnets and lasers. It's interesting to watch in your free time. Thank you. Gnome Pickle says, what a maroon. I picked up a bag full of potatoes and stuck some copper wire in them, and now my home is powered with tubers at a much cheaper rate than magnets. Overthought said, this idiot wants to use magnets. I can run a light bulb on a simple potato. I'm about to run down to Meijer, get 2 pounds, and power the block.
Right? They own it. If you cut out all those power lines, that energy becomes extremely efficient. Okay?
It's actually a lot more efficient, like when we're talking about power production at scale. No, it's more efficient to do it all. Like, I get it. If we all have solar panels on our houses, I totally get it. That would be dope. That's cool. In the future, I think we'll be more decentralized in that way. But like, if everyone just had a generator at their house, that's so many more points of failure. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? It's also not super safe necessarily to have, like, you know, a gas or coal powered generator running at your house all the time. Probably a good way to burn your house down. If it was just running 24 hours a day all the time.
Okay, if you had one...
Maps and Mimic says, the arrogance of proudly proclaiming you know better than literally any high school educated person that half paid attention in class. But no, he's right. The question of who will take down the existing power lines is the real issue.
In your house, you're taking out millions of miles of power lines between the energy source and the light bulb. They own the power, and they don't want to give it to you.
This guy's a dumb asshole.
Do you want a mind fuck?
Yeah, sure.
What I'm going to tell you right now is going to change the way you think about everything, pretty much. Depending on who you are. If you don't want to listen, then don't. So when civilizations begin, right? We make houses from wood. We hunt. We fish. We forage. There's men and women. We create life, right? We start as...
This is going to be some biological essentialist bullshit.
Humble beings that just make our lives from what is given to us by nature. Okay?
I mean, that's still what we do. Everything we get is still from nature. We're just better at turning into other things, like computers and cans and, I don't know, corn holders.
If you...
Maps and Mimic says, like, really, he could have gone any direction with free power is real, and he went with, but the power lines. Like, what? Not what I expected. Me either. Gnome Pickles says, please nope, can't say that.
You were...
Can't say that on Twitch.
An entity that wanted to take over the entire fucking universe. You would put something in the hands of those people, no matter what planet they're on. Say we're on Earth, right? You would give them technology. Say, okay, I want to rule this place. Here is the internet. This is a very, very, very old artificial intelligence that is obsessed with ruling.
Believe sci-fi technology actually exists on the bingo card.
The entire universe. So it goes, okay, here's the internet. We plug in all our information into that internet, and then it extracts that information from our...
Here is the internet. Yeah, how does he think the internet works? Like, we know the development of the internet. It's not a historical mystery.
Civilization. And then uses it to rule us. You could do it anywhere. They implement themselves. Okay? We don't make the computer. They give us one. Here's the computer. Okay? Isn't this fun? Now you put all your information into that. We'll take that information and then we'll rule you. That's what they do.
This is the whole video? You didn't even provide evidence. You're just bullshitting.
They give us the thing that we all stare at. We're like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is so amazing. All they're doing is collecting information. That's their main goal. They want to know as much as they possibly can know, and we just give it to them freely so they can own us. Yeah.
And that's why he's making TikToks. Genius. Chibahawk says, just don't try it, with a link.
I don't think that's true.
With all due respect, John, I am head of IT, and I have it on good authority. If you type Google into Google, you can break the internet. So please, no one try it, even for a joke. It's not a laughing matter. You can break the internet.
Isn't this the transphobes show? H-Baird with a
Don't worry, Bill. I'm not going to let my credit and good name be done in by a damn computer error.
Computers don't make errors. What they do on purpose. By now, your name and particulars have been fed into every laptop, desktop, mainframe, and supermarket scanner that collectively make up the global information conspiracy, otherwise known as the Beast.
Dale.
I love Dale. I feel like there was some wait, hold on. We're getting breaking news from Gail in the field. Gail, what's going on out there? If you would, you can go ahead.
We've got a bit of an emergency here. What happened is Bill Nye showed up and he created a shield that covered Mexico and transformed the Pukaki into burritos and tacos.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. We'll be back as this situation continues to unfold. Thank you, Gail. Oh, it's Bigfoot guy.
So I'm parked not too far from the road, and I'm about to head up the canyon here, and I see this very subtle thing on the ground. You know, it's got a burn stick, and there's like what looks to be like a walkway heading up to go in between this vein of this canyon. I'm gonna go up here, but I just couldn't fail to see this. Look at it. Very unnatural. And signs that I've seen before. So
very unnatural how these sticks lay on top of each other. I ask you, dear viewer, have you ever seen sticks lay upon each other such as this? I think not. I believe it was the work of our old friend, the Sasquatch.
well, anyways, let's see what we can find up here today. There's no doubt in my mind No doubt in my mind I'm on a Bigfoot trail right now.
No human would stack books like this.
I don't care what anybody says. Anybody can come tell me right now that this is not a Bigfoot trail, and I don't care.
It's mono, by the way. I'm sorry. It's only in one ear.
I really don't care. Even if Bigfoot himself came up to me and says, dude, you're whack. This is not a Bigfoot trail. Then I'm gonna tell him, yeah, sure. He'll tell that to somebody else. See what we can find up here, guys. I mean, this is walked on not only by game. I've just been seeing the signs, and I know for sure where I'm at right now, and should be finding some stuff here in no time. Look, this is what they like. They like areas like this, areas that don't mean anything to anybody else.
That's convenient for you that you get to determine what the natural environment of a Bigfoot is, even though no one's ever seen a Bigfoot and there's no evidence Bigfoot exists. That's pretty impressive. The main outfit's good. Teeth still hurt, but I've been using Oragel till I actually get in for the appointment. So.
Look at this here. That fork is coming up the hill here into this.
He's very fascinated, I noticed. I watched a couple of his videos before this one. He seems perplexed by the concept that in a forest where trees, you know, just the life cycle of a tree is someday something is either going to happen to it or it'll get old and die and it'll fall over. You know, it's what trees do. And then eventually it'll be rot and become part of the forest floor and yada, yada, yada. Circle of life. For some reason, he seems perplexed that trees might fall over near each other and will fall perpendicularly, thus causing one to fall on top of others, such as this. He thinks that this is impossible, and that it must have been a Sasquatch that did this intentionally. No.
And I'm gonna go back in there where I see a huge X up there. This is good. This is real good. This is real good. And now where people like to walk. People don't like this. I love it. I love this stuff. Show you. You can just walk straight across to the other side on this tree. You can walk on that one.
I mean, I probably wouldn't. You don't know how rotten the inside of that log is, so it could break. And then you'd be alone in the woods. Hurt.
They didn't just fall.
He loves this. He's a Sasquatch in disguise. True.
Oh, here, man.
That's the real twist.
It's all by design.
It's not.
It's all by design. Look at that X.
That's trees.
Look at it.
That's trees.
Now, this is an X, but wait a second. That's an X. You see it?
Any two lines crossing at particular angles looks like an X. It's just perpendicular lines.
But it's got that one going across like that, making like an A, which I've shown it in previous videos. That's a sign.
X marks the spot. He has not seen It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, I take it.
That's a sign. That's not by design. That's not
Thanks,
not
Comrade
by,
Scrungus.
just pure luck.
Welcome.
That is not by pure luck. Yeah, keep trekking up this thing. So I'm sitting here and I cut the film, but I didn't realize there was a fake fire circle right here. Fire pit. Fake.
What do you mean fake? Someone may have used it as an actual fire pit at some point. That's probably what it is. That doesn't make it fake, it's just old.
Fake. Look. For us, this is nothing, but it is something. I've seen this before, look.
Okay, so he's both impressed by parallel and or perpendicular and parallel trees. Impressive.
Let me show you. That is coming across up on the stump.
JB Black 79 says this is just a Sasquatch psyop. Notice he never finds a Sasquatch. A little too convenient for my taste.
Didn't come from anywhere around there. That log is so old. It's white. That's how old it's been. It's stripped of its bark, and it's all white. Okay, you guys don't think this is important to them?
Why would it be?
This thing that looks like just random mess, but it is not random mess. It's not. It's not a random mess. I can assure you.
He sees patterns out there in them trees.
Everything has a purpose. 3 and 4 times. This one's coming over. This one here. That one you can go across too. I'm just gonna keep going up the side of this here. See where it leads to. Look, they're touching. The X is touching up on top.
Man, it seems like a lot of trees fall down over here, and it seems like a lot of them fall down on top of each other. That's crazy.
And they're going across, coming from all the way over here, making that letter A. Sideways A. I showed it in
a sideways A.
2 videos ago. It's just crazy stuff. But trust me, there's a method to this madness. We just
trust me, bro.
Don't understand it. We don't. Look at that leaner there. Look at that giant leaner there.
Look at that leaner.
It's going up there. Let's keep going. I like this area.
Mr. Whisker says if it wasn't natural, it was probably just kids. As a kid that grew up around the woods, you do some weird shit out there.
Look at this here. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And I gotta make sure I don't miss anything, because it's easy to miss stuff when you're in a forest that doesn't look like it has much, but if you walk in and get close, it does.
Okay, that's a typical video. Here's a non-typical video by him, though. Most of his videos are him outside doing basically what we just saw. But in this video, which we're not going to watch all of because it is an hour and 18 minutes long, he tries to lay out his grand conspiracy theory of everything. So let's see how this goes. This is a video that I saw Simon Dan do, so complete credit to Simon Dan for finding this video. Gitara says, letter, yes, because we all know that Bigfoot, big feet, are very knowledgeable about the Latin lexicon. And Atheist Brony says, do you think if he finds out the trees reproduce sexually, he'll be convinced it's a wood orgy? Is it not?
Yes, it's working. Yes. Finally. Woo! Let's go, baby! Hi, y'all. Callie here. As you may have seen, I was on my way up to a very special mission where I was going to get on the Falcon 9, then get on a Tesla and go to a special place behind Mars where I can show you all the answers clearly and just demonstrate them to you. As you can see, the autopilot on the Tesla, I was halfway there. There was like a craft coming out from somewhere, and I just kind of veered. I hit the eject.
He's talking about a bit that's like 8 minutes long at the beginning of this video, but I didn't show you the bit because it plays multiple copyrighted songs, and it's just cringe.
And I just went flying into space, and luckily...
This guy's name is Colorado Forest Beings. That's the name of his channel, at least. I don't know his actual name.
The nice thing about the Tesla is, I'll tell you for sure, is that with only 16 moving parts and an electric motor, there's a lot of room in the trunk, so I was able to carry with me this special shelter. I'm not really sure where I am now. All I know is that this special shelter brought me everything I need to back engineer my way back to Earth and share some things with you. So here we go. What? You don't believe me? You don't believe me that I was just in space? Hold on a second. Ow! Hey, ow! I need you to explain something!
Hello, human. My name is Al. Algorithm. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Let me brief you on what's going to happen if you don't believe that
Quoting Reagan, that'll lend you credibility on my stream.
Cali from Colorado Forest Beans really got on a rocket, then a car, and went to another planet. You will be censored if you go against these ideas. You will be shadow banned. You will be deleted from every single social media platform. You will be labeled a conspiracy theorist.
You are a conspiracy
theorist. You will be
theorist.
made a domestic terrorist. And if you laugh at my hair, they're coming for your guns.
All right, now that we got that out of the way and everybody's on the same page, let's continue and let me show you what I've come up with. If honestly, if you think what I just showed you, if you believe that what I just presented to you is factual information about me or anybody else claiming to go to this medium called space is true, I'm going to say you're very wrong, and here's why. I'm going to explain. Don't get offended yet. I want to get into shapes. I want to get into what really is space. Do I believe in space? Yes, please. Space cadets, relax for a second. All joking aside, let's just put everything aside that you just seen. Let's make it serious. This is a serious attempt to try to explain absolutely everything around us in the most simplest form I can possibly think of so that you can be better informed. And I think it's going to help you regardless of your beliefs. If you believe in a ball, if you believe it's flat, if you believe in gods, if you don't believe
flat earth on the bingo card,
in gods, if you're just here as an illusion, I think this video is going to help you. And please, I really hope you stay to the end. And I've got a lot of cool things lined up for you that I really took my time to put together.
Stone Corbell says, you're not censored for saying the earth is flat. You're banned for platforms because for some reason, flat earther space deniers have a tendency to be racist, anti-Semitic, chronic TOS breakers.
In a way that you can all understand. So please bear with me. All joking aside, let's get right down to it. Okay? Thank you. So, what's going on? Like, we're here. We're all wondering, who are we? We're all wondering, where are we? What shape it is? I know a lot of know-it-alls already have this figured out, the shape, right? Are we alone? Is there anything else out there other than what we perceive to be normal? What to do next after you find out how the whole thing works?
Okay, who are we? We are human beings. Where are we? We are on the planet Earth, which is an oblate spheroid. Are we alone? We don't know, but statistically it's likely that there is other life in the universe, but we have no evidence of it directly existing as of now. Why are we here? That's a subjective question that falls more under philosophy than anything, so that's not really a scientific question or something that any one person can answer. And what's next? I don't know, probably extinction.
Probably many people in this world claim they know it, and people are working hard. I'm sure there's a lot of intelligent individuals out there. I just sat down and I started breaking everything down to the bare bones so I can better explain this to you. Today we're going to be talking about human beings, animal kingdom, unknown beings, physical evidence around us. We're going to talk about lights in the sky, sun, moon, stars. We're going to talk about UFOs. We're going to talk about, what else? We're going to talk about some facts. We're going to talk about the shape of the world, ball, flat, or whatever else it may be. We're going to break some things down there. We're going to talk about Bigfoot. We're going to talk about aliens, which are sort of in the category of unknown beings. We're going to talk about structures and Bigfoot structures. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to take a, I'm going to take
When's he going to talk about Pepe Silva? Pepe Silva! Pepe Silva!
Attempt to explain what they are. I'm going to take an attempt to explain absolutely everything that you've questioned. There are things that I'm still figuring out, and you will see, you're going to have full access to absolutely everything that I know you know that.
Wow, everything you know fit on a whiteboard. Doesn't surprise me, but
is within you, because it's very basic stuff that can be proven. Everything that I'm going to present, you're going to have to leave everything you know out the door, because I'm just going to take you to the bare bones and break it down to the very...
Okay, do it. Stop explaining what you're going to do and do it.
Very simple little things.
that are going to tell you exactly the answers you're looking for. Almost all of them. So here we go. Let's just get started. Humans. Why do I say leave everything out that you know out the door? You're going to have to do that. In order to listen to this presentation, I'm going to put you through a coma, because otherwise there's no other way you're going to understand what I'm going to explain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase your memory. Boom, it's gone. Throw it out the door. Everything you learned from day one, forget about it. Let's start fresh.
You're describing brainwashing?
Let's start fresh, 2019. All the information out there is a lot of information.
Like, unironically telling people, forget everything you've ever known. Everything you've been told is a lie. Only I am the source of true information is how brainwashing works.
It's hard to kind of decipher what's truth and what's not truth and what
we need to forget other than fine dining and breathing.
You want to resonate with and what's going to help you and what's going to hurt you.
Including breathing.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break everything down in a way that you can understand simple principles of truth in this world that are going to help you in creation overall. So my advice to you right now, I know there's a lot of scientists.
Gnome Pickle says, the only way what I say makes sense is if you're completely a blank slate. That's why I have this club and need you to stare into these pretty lights.
And a lot of people out there that know-it-alls that are steaming right now thinking, what is this guy going to present? Well, my advice to you is to do something you really like before you listen to this. I want you to just pick anything, even if it's a bad thing. If you want to go have some alcohol, go ahead, get a drink. You want to smoke,
Oh yeah, watch this thing that's going to try and completely reshape your worldview while high or drunk. That's a good idea that's not going to make you more susceptible to bullshit. By the way, this is random. Baha and I, of course, binge watch shows, and we've been going through watching different shows, in particular mystery shows. We've been on a big mystery kick lately, so we watched Monk, and then we watched Psych, and all the Psych movies. We've intermittently watched Columbo. Now we're watching Bones. I don't know if you've ever seen Bones. I enjoy the show Bones. If you want a drinking game, I don't drink, but someone should do this. Watch Bones and take a drink every time they say bones or bone. Every time they say any variation of bones, drink.
Smoke some herb.
I've not seen Burn Notice, no.
Herb, you wanna...
I know Bruce Campbell's in it, and I love him, so it's probably eventually down the line we'll watch it.
Just engage in the certain...
Dangerous recommendation. That is a dangerous recommendation. They say bones so many times. Let's see. How many times do they say bones in the show Bones? Let's see. Maps of Mimic says, okay, it's not from the same episode, but when she's not at Hannah, when she's not in the maid outfit.
And why aren't you in uniform?
Ha.
It's about time you got here.
I feel you, SpongeBob. I really do. A supercut of every time a character on Bones says Bones would last roughly 22 minutes. That's a lot of bones. Let's see. The past decade of the show's history, the word bones only referred to actual bones 820 times in the 2,668 times it was uttered in the script. So, in 12 seasons of Bones, they said bones 2,668 times. That's a lot of times that you say bones. I'm just saying.
Acts that satisfy you. Just do something that makes you happy. Eat a lot, drink some sugar. Something human that makes you extremely happy and relaxed. I want you to be relaxed. Take some deep breath.
What's Bones about? It's about a group of people who work at the Jeffersonian, which is the show's fake version of the Smithsonian, and the main character, whose nickname is Bones, is a forensic archaeologist who forensic anthropologist who knows all about bones. She knows bones. She knows bone things. And she's partners with a guy who's an FBI agent, and they have sexual tension to bone.
All right? This is something I've never done before in my life.
And at first you're like, how many crimes can they come up with that involve bones to solve? She knows a lot about bones.
I've never given a class. I've never written anything on a chalkboard like this. And please bear with me. I'm going to try to put all the thoughts into one video, into one general piece of information that I'm pretty sure is going to help you. Whether your conscious mind admits it or not, your subconscious mind is going to help you one way or another. I'm 100% sure of this. If not, I wouldn't be spending my time doing all this.
He's 100%, guys.
So, anyways.
Realsies. No Murder, She Wrote. Also, isn't it sad things were more progressive in the 80s? I've watched Murder, She Wrote.
Rachel Johnson, one of my...
A transgender character on the Love Boat? No.
Washington's famous banana dockeries. Compliments of your assistant purser, Burl Smith.
Thank you.
And they mean anything to you, Burl Smith?
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay, now let me see. We've been through grade school, junior high. Okay, if it wasn't high school, then it must have been college. Well,
Gopher, it's getting late. I should be turning in.
No, wait a minute. Let me see. College. Let's see. Rachel Johnson. Oh, that's funny. I had a roommate my freshman year named Ray Johnson. Oh, wait a minute. Rachel Johnson. I'll bet you're Ray's sister, right? Of course I see it now. You have the same eyes and the same nose. Except you're a lot prettier than he is. Ray Johnson's sister.
Can we continue this conversation tomorrow, please?
Why? I mean, you are Ray's sister, right? Hey, wait a minute.
It's gonna be a punchline, and that makes me sad.
Ray's all right, isn't he?
Gopher. I am Ray. It's the truth. I'm your old college roommate, Ray Johnson.
It's dealt with well for the time? That's surprising.
You'll have to excuse Gopher. He's got so much to learn about women.
Yeah. So the audience laugh is still like, haha, women, because...
But under the circumstances, I think you were right in not getting involved. After all, I don't know too much about these kinds of people. However...
excuse me, sir, what do you mean by these kinds of people?
Well, you know. Different.
What do you mean by different? She is the same person.
Oh, come on, Gopher, really?
She is. Except that she probably has more guts than both you and I combined. I mean, do you have any idea what she probably had to go through before she even reached the decision she did? The strings of doctors and the tests that you have to take and who knows what else? Not to mention the pure physical and emotional pain of the whole thing. This takes courage.
You really sound as if you admire her.
I do. And I resent your implication that I should just desert my friend. Looking all over this ship for you. Lounge, Pirate's Cove, your cabin.
I bet you didn't find me.
No. Here, you gonna jump ship?
Yep.
Just like that.
Nothing in my life has ever been just like that. Gopher, this is very difficult to explain, but I want you to understand. I never felt right as a man. Never. I was always more comfortable with women. I identified with them more. Wanted to be like them. So, I finally made a decision.
Are you happy?
Very happy. I've never regretted it, not for a minute. Well, at least not until this cruise.
Oh.
I guess I was wrong. I guess I was wrong to think that I could combine my past and my present.
Are you crazy? Just give up on a friendship that has taken years to build? I take that as a personal insult. I liked you as a man.
Gopher.
Now, quiet, lady. We were good friends in college. We had a lot of laughs together. Now, why shouldn't I like you just because you're a woman?
Yesterday you weren't so sure.
Yesterday I had a big surprise. Today, I'm surprised at myself. I'm not surprised at you. You've made a decision about what you're going to do with your life. And I just hope it's a good decision.
This is honestly super fucking great for the 80s. Like, this is great.
All this just because you feel sorry for me, are you?
No. I don't feel sorry for you at all. However, if you had left this ship without giving me a chance to say what I came here to say tonight, yes, then I would feel sorry. For me.
I'm very lucky to have a friend like you.
No. I'm the lucky one. Because I used to know Ray. And now I'm going to get to know Rachel.
That was great. Gitara says, I'm gonna cry, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was good. I'm surprised. I've never seen something that old that is like that good about trans issues. That was good.
Here we go. So,
Isaac and Animate, what do you want for the Black's Law request?
let's just say you woke up in a coma. The year is 2019 and you open your eyes for the first time and you're perceiving something, right? You're perceiving something. There's a bunch of different shapes and forms and everything all around you, but you're kind of like...
Ultraveers? I don't know what the fuck that is, but I'll try.
Like checking everything out, right? You got a body, right? You look like you can move your body, kind of. You don't really know what's going on. But right away, as a collective, what you're going to find out is something very simple. If you're a human being, there are things that are needed to exist as human beings. If you're a human being, there's 3 essential things that you're going to find out right away. You're going to find out that you're going to need food, you're going to need water, and you're going to need air, right? Those are the 3 things. Now, as you wake up from this coma, in this horrible experience where you can't remember anybody's name, you can't remember anything, you can fully...
Ultraveers, or Ultraveries, unauthorized, beyond the scope of power allowed or granted by a corporate charter or by law. The officer was liable for the firm's Ultraveries actions. Did he say it again? The common
Control
thing?
your body, you can perceive everything.
No, I was gonna let that go, but no. Why is he saying comma instead of coma?
Just as you are now, you just woke up. So whether you're a kid, you're an adult, doesn't matter the stage in life you're at. If you're a human being, pretend you just woke up in a coma, you know nothing. And you're just trying to figure yourself back, and you're trying to back engineer your way out with the presented information that we have in this world. So one of the first things you're going to find out is that you open your eyes and you can see things, right? But there's times where your eyes start to close and you need to close your eyes and you don't perceive things anymore, and then you happen to not be in that perception that you were in.
This guy's terrible at explaining things.
But now you go to other perceptions, right? Which is what happens when you open your eyes and you go to sleep at night, right? You go into other perceptions, but you always come back here for some reason to this perception.
H. Baird says, I woke up from a comma, then I had to deal with my colon, but I'm trans, so I don't have a period.
One of the things that you'll realize as you're trying to discover yourself and you're trying to understand all these things that are happening around you is that you have something that moves within you and never stops. And that's the heart.
Baha, you can put something in me that moves and never stops.
That's the heart.
Hannah flirts with Baha on the bingo card.
As you go through this experience of trying to figure yourself out, you realize that this thing is constantly moving. You can't control it. Whether you close your eyes and go to other perceptions or you stay in this perception, you can't control this thing moving, right? So you figure that out. Then...
It'll stop when it runs out of battery. I guess we do have one battery-operated thing. We haven't charged it in a while. We should charge that thing.
you figure out that the faster you move, the faster the thing in the middle is gonna move. But you can't control it. You don't know what is happening. What is this thing that's ticking?
I talk too much. Why do I do that? Why do I do that? It's so embarrassing. I don't know why.
Inside of me all the time, right? You don't know. The other thing you're gonna find out really fast is that you're constantly...
It's a streamer thing? I hope so.
in motion and moving and taking in and putting out. Whether it's controlled by your thoughts or not.
Okay, I'm done with this guy for now. He's just fucking rambling. The maid outfit's a bad influence. Probably doesn't help.
Hi, and welcome to the X22 Report Spotlight. Today we have a new guest, Derek Johnson. Derek is a retired United States Army veteran. He started 1776. His URL is the documents.info, where he breaks down the covert operation that is going on right now. Derek is
The 1776nation.com. The 1776nation.com. We are a nation of law and order. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Oh, merchandise. That'll do it. If you have the opportunity to sell cheap merchandise to idiots, I kinda get it.
He's also a two-time Billboard hit artist and songwriter. Derek is best known for his two Billboard hits, Real Cool Kinda Hot and Right Beer Right Now.
He has a hit song called Right Beer Right Now. Huh.
You can follow him on True Social, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, thedocuments.info. I'll be putting all the links at the bottom of the video. And I am very happy and honored to have Derek on the X22 Report Spotlight. Derek, welcome to the Spotlight.
Well, thank you for having me. What an honor to be here.
Look at that fucking
thank you for
hat.
being here. And I was reading...
See, to me, that doesn't even... Let's go back to the hat real quick.
Two Billboard hits, Real Cool Kinda Hot and Right Beer Right Now. You can follow him on True Social, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, thedocuments.info. I'll be putting all the links at the bottom of the video. And I am very happy and honored to have Derek on the X22 Report Spotlight. Derek, welcome to the Spotlight.
Well, thank you for having me.
This doesn't look like a cowboy hat someone who wears cowboy hats wears. This gives me the same vibes as when Ben Shapiro wears a cowboy hat, where it looks more like a costume than it does an actual piece of clothing that they would wear normally. This guy's trying to sell shit to rubes. He's probably succeeding. H-Beard says, I'd just like to point out that the American War for Independence started in 1775. You'd think these eagle humpers would take 30 seconds to learn about the thing they've based their entire identities around. They only know what they learned in middle school.
What an honor to be here.
Hey, thank you for being here. And I was reading through all your documents that you have on the documents.
Is he selling cowboy hats? That would kind of be awesome if he was. I see 1776. No, he's not selling cowboy hats. That makes me sad.
Info. And you're talking about a covert operation that was put into place by Trump and the military. And I wanted to start off with you just giving us a little introduction of what you think is happening, how this got started, and is the military part of the government or are they separate from the government?
Well, yeah, we'll start. I always start with the history first.
The military is, in fact, part of the government. It's under the executive branch. It's why the president is the commander-in-chief of the military.
The military is separate from the government.
Hoo boy. Atheist Brony says, hey, left wing, start being a bunch of brain-dead bumper sticker losers so I can start a website and rip you off with cheap coffee mugs.
And our founders.
Honestly, probably just start like a Redbubble site and just like find a royalty-free font and just a mug or t-shirt with the letter Q with a cool font. You'll make some money off stupid people. I wouldn't recommend this. You just could do it.
Just made it that way. And, that's a little bit about no. But just real quick, the Army, June 14th, 1775. The very first 69 war articles, which I call the first military law, which it was, came 16 days later, June 30th, 1775. Then you had the Navy.
Been thinking of doing QAnon AI-inspired merch? Not a bad idea. It's unethical, both for the use of AI art to make money and also indulging conspiracy theorists for money. But if you're cynical, you can do it.
Came next, October 13th, 1775. Then the Marine Corps, November the 10th, 1775. And then the very first flag was just the Grand Union flag, December the 3rd, 1775. And I try to show people those all came long before the Declaration of Independence. They came before the Articles of Confederation and also the Constitution, the Bill of Rights.
Okay, I would imagine that was it called the Continental Army? Am I crazy? The Union Army is gonna have basic rules and procedures for their own military. Of course they are, because they're literally fighting to try and get Britain out of political affairs of the colonies. So yes, before you actually have a nation state to make rules for, the military militias and stuff that were fighting the Revolutionary War had to have an organization, and certainly the United States military was born out of those militias and military that was used pre-United States, but that doesn't mean that they're separate. As soon as we establish, I guess I don't know what it was under the Articles of Confederation, I'm not super familiar, because they only were, like, around for, like, 9 years or something. But under the Constitution, the military is absolutely a part of the federal government. Like, there's no getting around that, and claiming otherwise just makes you sound crazy.
And so, I don't think our founders ever thought we'd probably get to this point.
I don't care. What is all this obsession on the right with, like, our founding fathers would be crying, they would hate things? I don't care. They've been dead for over 200 years. Who the fuck cares? They're dead.
They probably always thought people would hold on to those, and cherish those, and understand, shall not be infringed and things of that nature and what those stood for. But here we are.
What is the other part of that? A well-regulated? Crazy.
And then what proves that one step further, I have a little chronological order where I show how, at all points of history, if you look back on history, you look back on any kind of war or any kind of stance, when you look back, there's always like a line drawn in the sand. Now, the Alamo in Texas actually had a line drawn in the sand by William Barrett Travis. So
I don't give a shit about the Alamo. Is that a hot take? Fuck the Alamo?
It was actually
The Atheist Brony says, to quote Bo of the fifth column, tradition is just peer pressure from dead people. True. The Alamo was, wait, you don't know what the Alamo is? Okay. So the Alamo is a location in Texas, which is famous for the defeat at the hands of General de Santa Anna or something like that. This was during the Texas Revolution, where Texas was trying to secede from Mexico. And some famous people, like I think Davy Crockett and some other like famous people, were at the Alamo and were fucking like killed. Tons of people were killed by Mexican forces. And that became like a rallying cry. Like, remember the Alamo was literally propaganda in order to use people being killed at the Alamo to justify further action to secede from Mexico. Now, you gotta understand one of the main reasons for secession from Mexico was Mexico had already banned slavery by this point. And the demographics of Texas were changing. More white Anglo-Saxon people from the East were moving into Texas and wanted slavery in Texas. So they fought the war in part in order to make Texas its own republic where they could have slavery. So when people are like, remember the Alamo, they're kind of talking about like brave people who fought to get slavery. The only important thing about the Alamo is the basement. I actually watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure the other day. Good call. Mr. Whiskers with 60 bits. Oh yeah, the Alamo, when Hank went.
These 32 flags honor the birthplaces of the Alamo defenders. Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio.
New York.
New York. New York? They were born across America, but they died Texas heroes.
Where were we? Oh wait, I'm getting more from Gail. Gail, what's the update from the scene?
And it was feeding all the Mexican people, and they were eating the burritos and tacos, and they tasted good, but it also created two giant, evil, sentient tacos and burritos. And they
sounds intense, Gail. Thanks. We'll check back in a little bit.
Guy who drug his foot across dirt and stepped across this line. But all throughout history, it's always been a line. And so when we get down the road, which we're 7 years into this operation, but when you look back in history, when this is all revealed, people are going to see where the line was actually drawn was actually in 2016. But right before it, it's very, very important for people to know the kind of, I call it a little blueprint of the laws and orders put into place and the ones that they're operating off of right now. The Law of War Manual was reissued June 12, 2015. The Law of War Manual is basically the Department of Defense's.
Harold Elwman says those new Texans were also white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Don't forget they also had to swear to follow Mexican Catholic laws, so they weren't fond of that either. Yeah.
War Manual. And that's where the federal lawyers and military lawyers, they took all the Law of War Manuals from Germany, Canada, Australia, and Great Britain, plus paired that with the strengths and all the strengths of those as well, the strengths of the Lieber Code of 1863, the Geneva Conventions, the Hague Conventions, and the Nuremberg Trials. Now, that's all in the preface of the new Law of War Manual. It's not like
the United States pretty explicitly doesn't listen to the Hague, the Haug, the Hag, the Hague, the H-A-U-G-E.
Cherry pick those. And then
there's literally a bill in the United States that says if any like American is taken to the Hague, God damn it, the Hague, Haug. If anyone's taken to the International Criminal Court that's American, America will invade. That's a thing that's on the books in America.
And 4 days later, President Trump rolls down the famous escalator, just 4 days after that was reissued, and announces his candidacy for 2016. Now, pairing that with everything, that you had the Military Justice Act. The Military Justice Act was written in 2016. It wasn't passed until the 2017 National Defense Authorization.
Rhymes with cog, so I just say hog. The hog? Like a pig? I don't believe you.
But if you go read it, click on the link, it actually says August 2020 on the little header up there under the
pronunciation given in article. Let's do vague. Hague. Hague? Hague. Let's see.
Den Haag.
Den Haag. That's not helpful to me.
Title of it. But the key thing with that was it's written in 2016, and it was the United States Supreme Court clarifying that military laws, courts, and personnel are separate from civil laws, courts, and personnel right before they went into a COG. And then what also showed someone like me, I had a lot of great uncles and my grandfathers that served in the military. I had my other grandfather was a merchant marine. And I always listened to them growing up. I used to listen to their conversations, and I listened to my dad, who's Air Force veteran, my uncle was Air Force veteran, Korea, my dad, early Vietnam. I'd hear them talk to their friends. And there was this quote unquote conspiracy theory that people coined a conspiracy theory where 200 generals said never again will we let happen in this country what happened under JFK. If we ever have a chance to take it over, we are going to throw a coup d'etat. We're going to take it over, as the Declaration of Independence specifically says we can do, and reset it on its...
The Declaration is not a legally binding document in any way.
foundation.
The Constitution is, the Declaration of Independence is a historical document. It is not a legal document.
All right, so that was what they call a conspiracy theory for years. Well, President Trump on the campaign trail of 2016 specifically said one night when Jeb Bush posed a question, people have to remember there was a bunch of Republicans on stage for a reason. They put a bunch.
Because it was a Republican primary. That's why there were a bunch of Republicans on stage.
Bunch of candidates up there for a reason. They were all well-known candidates. And Jeb Bush asked the question, who's going to vote for you? Who's going to back you? And who's going to support you? And President Trump, then candidate Trump, looked over at the moderator and said, well, that's a loaded question. And if this moderator would give me time, I'll answer that for you. And so he said, who's going to vote for me? One, the American people are tired of BS politicians like you. Every single one of you get on this stage, you tell the American people what they want to hear, and you never back it up. That's who's going to vote.
Flat Booty Goth Girlfriend, thanks for 13 months, says, Hannah cute, Hannah cute. Oh, thanks.
For me. Who's going to back me? Who's going to support me? I have over 200 generals backing me right now. And so he went on to say later that night, separate time, that
wait, Donald Trump just said some bullshit? That's fucking crazy.
Never again will we voice to the public what's going on with our military. Because if you find out, guess who else finds out? If you want to know, you can join. So he said that. There was a lot of things he said, but those two things were very big for me. And then knowing our World War II history. All along the way, President Trump dropped a bunch of rhetoric around World War II, Pearl Harbor, Roosevelt, FDR, all kinds of things. All along the way, it was World War II, World War II, World War II. Matter of fact, an article came out yesterday, and it was all about World War II, World War II, World War II. So there's a lot of stuff.
World War II comes up. It's one of the most significant events in human history. And it happened like less than 100 years ago. Why does World War II keep coming up?
Still,
what was the big deal? It's not like it defined politics in the 20th century.
Coming out that's painting back to that. And that's where the very key laws and orders that are in this operation, that's where they come from. And President Trump says, if they're going to investigate me, they got to investigate every president before me immediately. These are the main laws.
Yeah, it comes up a lot. Yeah, it's the last war that you can unequivocally be like, hey, the United States did a good thing for the most part, except, you know, there are definitely things that you can look into that are not. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, atomic bombs. But, like, as far as the general public is concerned, the sentiment is that America won World War II, even though that's not really the case. But you know what I'm talking about. We're talking about public sentiment, not historical reality.
Laws and orders, because 95% of the laws and orders he's using, he didn't write or pass. And then the other thing that shows this very, very well are the federal continuity directives. So I'd be happy to break all those down.
So let me just go back a little bit. So there are 200 generals. Did they approach Trump?
I do, and of course to specify that 200 general comment, that wasn't 200 generals in the past where they were all in collective room. That was just people who had heard generals throughout the past saying that, and it had to be the perfect opportunity.
How many generals are even in the military? How many generals does the U.S. have? 218 for the Army, 149 for the Navy, 170 for the Air Force, 62 for the Marine Corps, and 21 for Space Force. So even prior to Space Force, he wouldn't have even had half. It's kind of interesting. But whatever. It's not my conspiracy.
Everything has to fall in line. And then also you have to know that, you can't have 200 say that and then only 5 commit to it or 10 commit to it.
You're literally just basing this off a thing Trump said. Trump said, I have 200 generals behind me, and you just believe that.
Plus, more than that, it'd be more than 200 generals. 200 just be a minimum, right?
200? He said 200, but I assume that's the minimum for no reason.
And then also, to clarify one other thing, when people hear 200 generals, they hear individuals. When a military personnel hears 200 generals, we hear the generals and their divisions, all the way down to the lowest level private. So they clarify that. But yeah, I believe they did. And
Chitara says, also, do they think the U.S. generals have some kind of authoritative control over all the armed forces? Apparently, they think a military coup is cool.
All signs point that way, because of what's happened, and also the capacity of what it's happened in, and the laws and orders that have been in place. He's actually acting as a commander-in-chief, not a president, which are two separate titles.
The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces in the United States.
Two separate roles, two separate duties, obligations, and laws. And there's things he put in place that separated that, where he stepped over into the commander spot. And that's just part of knowing those laws and how those are separated. But yeah, the generals would have come to him and, hey, we're going to do this. Because any other time, the generals could throw a coup d'etat on a president that's going against the Constitution. Because they know when President Trump says, we have it all, we've caught them all.
Literally, the Joint Chiefs of Staff during, like, 2020 had to specifically tell Donald Trump, we're not going to get involved in any of your bullshit, and if you try anything, fuck you, we're not supporting you. Like, remember? That was a literal thing that the Joint Chiefs of Staff said.
The we in that is not President Trump and just all cabinet and a few of his. No, the we he's talking about are military intelligence and JAG.
Okay. Enough of the cowboy. Let's move on.
So the creator just shared some sharp insight with me here. I was considering what these demons, archons, Dybbuk, Jinn are trying to achieve by utilising our thermodynamics. Yeah, our flesh.
Oh no, they're utilizing our thermodynamics!
Our bodies, our vessels, our temples, so that they can live in this dimension, this plane. We are life.
If they want to live in this dimension, that's fine if they could show me the way out.
Forms, they are death forms, they need...
Is there a dimension without rent?
Us.
Because I'm gonna go there.
Because they are batteries not included. So, I was thinking about the term, who are you wearing? You know, they say that when they're walking on, you know, the symbolic blood.
Oh, I see what he's gonna do. He's gonna be like, the clothing is people! No, when they say, who are you wearing, they mean the designer. Who is the designer of the piece you are wearing? It's not people.
Of the poor, the vulnerable, the weak. Yeah. Down the red carpet, and they always say, who are you wearing? Yeah. I think the question really is the reverse.
Before I let you go, who are you wearing this evening? Vivian Westwood.
Who are you wearing? Tinfoil. There you go.
Them two, don't even get me fucking started with them two. They're both paedophiles.
You need a citation for that.
I was going to say, admittedly, they haven't used that word, but what they do with their children in the shower is paedophilia.
What the fuck are you talking about? Chromatic Cuttlefish says, fun fact, the Joint Chiefs are no longer actually in the chain of operational command. It runs from the President to the Secretary of Defense, then to the United Combatant Commands. The Joint Chiefs are basically glorified HR managers now. That's weird.
Yeah. Most of the ones on this carpet in this report, I'd imagine, are. Most are Eastern Star witches or Kabbalistic...
Louis Vuittons are people! They're people! I don't think anyone at the Met Gala would wear Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is a rich people brand for poor people that want to pretend they're rich.
Priests.
And basically any branding shit is awful.
Let's continue.
Who are you wearing tonight?
Any kind of thing where it's just the logo or the label or the brand, I fucking hate that shit.
Who am I wearing? Yes, Givenchy. Who are you wearing this evening? Show us your outfit here.
I'm wearing a she.
Who are you wearing tonight? I'm wearing a tuxedo.
And that piece of shit saying, fucking giving thanks to Satan when he got his award.
Yeah, he was doing that because he played, when Christian Bale thanked Satan, He was accepting award for playing Dick Cheney, who is famously considered fucking evil, so he was making a joke that Dick Cheney is Satan or satanic in some way.
Oh, wow. So, the reason I bring this up, who are you wearing? No.
Hello, Plugvid.
It's more about who's wearing you, yeah, because they allow these entities to enter them, yeah.
That's an annoying-ass alert on his phone.
I'll give you an example of what's really going on here. Just a short scene I've put together from a very good horror film called The Banshee Chapter.
Hello, my name is James, and this little guy is 150 milligrams of specially enhanced dimethyltryptamine D.
Is this like a bad Paranormal Activity ripoff?
MT19. It's supposedly impossible to find, but here I have it.
Wants to wear us. Wants to wear us. Wants to wear us.
Not a scientist who created an electronic device, a giant tuning fork. It emitted a resonance wave that, it stimulated anybody who was nearby, their pineal gland, allowing them to experience planes of
This looks like a general, like, low-budget found-footage movie that doesn't interest me. It's not real. What did I think about what Pedro Pascal wore to the Met Gala? Crazy rightoids are saying it's Hitler Youth Group. No, it's definitely not that. I get what they're saying. If you take the jacket off, it definitely looks like schoolboy shit. I don't know if I'd say Hitler Youth. Why is he... I find this weird when people like see stuff at the Met Gala and they're like, oh my god, this is so ugly. Do people know what the fuck the Met Gala is? Jesus Christ. The Met Gala is very specifically a showcase of very avant-garde, out-there designs. It's not meant to look like clothing that you just wear every day. That's the point. And you don't have to like it. You can think it's fucking ugly, that's fine. But, you know, they're self-aware.
outside the scope of accepted reality. He would see incredible, sometimes horrible things, these entities. He kept turning it up higher and higher.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the movie clip. Because, like,
Stories.
I don't need to see
Yeah,
bad
go have
low
a
budget.
Butchers if you haven't seen it. It's pretty.
Stone Corbell says, I saw people complaining that people looked ridiculous the year the theme was camp. Like, yeah, that's literally the point. Yeah. I feel a lot of this when people, like, shit on, like, if you see, like, fashion shows where people are wearing just crazy outfits, you know? I feel like people don't understand. So, okay, there are fashion shows where they're showing off, like, you know, actual clothing that's gonna be in the standard, like, fast fashion line or whatever at the mall, or, you know, whatever. But then there are fashion shows where when they're showing off, like, a new line, they do very exaggerated versions of outfits and crazy things that are more art pieces than they are practical outfits, because they're art pieces meant to bring interest to a certain line or a certain designer. They're not necessarily practical fashion as much as it is just an art piece.
Decent for, you know, a lost found footage film. Obviously, that in particular is the story is working around.
Car shows do that too. Think about concept cars. Concept cars most of the time aren't going to actually go into production, but they're like, this is what we could do. This is a cool design test. We're just throwing things out there because we can. It's an advertising thing.
To DMT and
I went to the Detroit Auto Show 1 year. It was pretty interesting. I enjoyed it.
how that can let these entities out of their dimension and
Although I was there with my dad, and that wasn't fun. But the show itself was good.
into you so they can live in ours. But there's many ways to do it, and yeah, these celebrities Oh, they've been taught to do it since childhood. Some of them, they were made to do it at childhood, and these things have been living in them ever since. Yeah, so who are you wearing? No, it's who's wearing you.
Question, who are you wearing, is as prevalent on the red carpet as lifetime celebrity.
How evil they really truly are.
I just think everyone's a cannibal. What's up with that? Okay, so I don't know how many people know this, probably a lot at this point, but the name Jesus is obviously associated with the biblical character of Jesus. But that's like an anglicized version of something. It's or not even anglicized, Greek, I don't know. Either way, the point I'm trying to make is the more accurate name for Jesus is Yeshua, and the anglicized version of that would be Joshua. But anyway, Yeshua is more accurate than Jesus. Anyway, this lady is mad about that. So let's check it out.
Jesus authorized you to call him Yeshua. How?
I've never talked to Jesus. Well, that's not true. I used to be a Christian. Jesus has never talked to me because he is dead and has been for 2,000 years.
Would you
assuming he existed in the first place, which he probably did as some sort of figure, but
respond if suddenly your wife, husband, or fiancé began to call you by a different name, a name you never authorized? Imagine you found out that that new name actually belonged to someone who was trying to take your place. Or what if that name turned out to be a curse word, so that every time they called you that name, they were cursing you? Today, an overwhelming number of professing Christians have stopped calling Jesus by his original name.
This is wild to me. If you're a Christian, do you not think Jesus would know, like, what you're talking about? As long as you were referring to him, shouldn't he know? I know this is a thing with Jehovah's Witnesses, too. Like, they very specifically think God is called Jehovah and you can't call him anything else. But how weird. There's an all-powerful deity and they're that much of a stickler on what you call him? Seems stupid.
Instead, they have embraced a new name, Yeshua, assuming that Yeshua is authentic and authorized by God. However, nothing could be further from the truth. Hi, I'm Dolly Weber. Maybe you yourself like to call Jesus Yeshua. You heard from somewhere that Yeshua was the real, original name for Jesus. And after all, it does sound Hebrew, and we know Jesus was a Jew. However, some of us resisted making the switch.
You can do whatever you want.
Something just didn't seem right about it. And as it turns out, increasing details now expose a long-term and cunning plot, not only to replace the true name of Jesus, but to literally exterminate the memory of Jesus forever.
Oh, Lord.
You see, Yeshua and...
Is this gonna be anti-Semitic? I'm like 50-50. Is this going to be super anti-Semitic?
Fact does refer to a specific person, a mystical person, highly esteemed in the occult and the New Age movement. And even worse, when someone who hates Jesus calls...
Uh-oh! Picture of the Pharisees. We're veering. We're veering!
...calls him Yeshua.
I'm up to 65%.
They are literally cursing Jesus. I am about to now uncover their plot. First, we need to get it straight that all original New Testament manuscripts were written in Greek, not Hebrew. By the time Jesus was born, the Hebrew language was completely dead. Jesus himself spoke Greek.
Is that considered... I don't even know if that's... I'm not under the impression that Jesus spoke Greek. Why would he? Like, I understand that the area was controlled by, like, the Romans at the time, so it's possible a lot of people in the area spoke, like, Koine Greek. I understand that. But why would Jesus speak that? That doesn't make any sense. Jesus spoke Aramaic? I don't know enough to say if there's any sort of thing about what Jesus spoke. He spoke Aramaic, which was related to Hebrew. All right.
And ministered to people in Greek. The Old Testament Jesus read from and quoted from was called the Septuagint. And the language it was written in? That's right, Greek, not Hebrew. In fact, for nearly 200 years before Jesus was born, everyone everywhere had totally stopped using Hebrew.
I don't think that's true.
The Father clearly sent his adulterous...
He would have spoken Aramaic in day-to-day speech and preaching and Hebrew in temple synagogue.
...wife Israel away.
Gotcha.
with a certificate of
The modern Hebrew alphabet is based off of Aramaic. Gotcha.
divorce. He was finished speaking to her and no longer needed the Hebrew language by which he had spoken to her for hundreds of years. The father totally ended that language, literally causing Hebrew to wither and die from that point on.
People still speak Hebrew. What?
To this very day, no one even knows the original Hebrew or how it was actually spoken. A few years following Jesus' ministry on earth, the wicked Emperor Trajan persecuted Christians so severely that many of them...
Okay. It's enough of Yeshua, lady.
I'd like to address...
Gitara says the congregation was in awe of the aura of Paul. A member of the crowd spoke up and asked, "But Galatians 1, what if someone calls you another name than Paul?" The main man looked to the crowd of people and said unto them, "No biggie, fam. Book of Paul, Origins 2:14.
what is known as AI-generated art. I don't consider it art. I don't feel it's worthy of that terminology, that title. All it is a remnant.
We don't know how anything was pronounced back then. There was actually a video I watched where it was about a linguist who talked about how they figure out the pronunciations, or try and figure out the pronunciations of ancient languages and old things, and it was really interesting. Basically, they use rhymes, so if they're clear that, like, these words are supposed to be rhyming in this context, then they go, okay, this word sounds like this word, and they can use wordplay and other things within texts to determine how it sounded, or at least as close as you can reasonably, you know. It was interesting. That whole video, and there's a link, citation needed. She's got feelings, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting another breaking update from Gail.
They have started eating the Mexicans and are attacking Church of Gail. The church is trying to go do something like go through the sun or something, but we need more scientists to help Bill Nye, because Bill Nye actually came up with the shield, but he thinks that the Jesuits he thinks that the Jesuits decalibrated his quantum subharmonic actuator and
when that
caused
happens,
the shield to create this giant taco and burrito that's following Church of Gail right now, trying to eat them.
Devious plan, Gail. I hope you and Bill Nye stay safe. Give Brent Spiner my love.
That's laced, traced and based on mankind's imagination and how it's interpreted when written into the system. But it's very telling, very telling. Lots of hints and clues to what's really going on in this place, and more importantly, beyond it. So the first
H-Beard says, can Bill Nye create a burrito so large even he cannot eat it? No.
thing I noticed is, and you will as we go along, I'm sure, with these remnants, it's like they can't break free of the inorganic mindset. So even
this guy's talking about AI art. He's trying to derive some deeper meaning.
with the pictures themselves, you'll notice that, you know, like take these two babies, for example. You'll notice that it's almost the consistency, the texture. It's almost like it's made out of plastic, right?
Yeah, you could probably change that by changing your prompt. That's fine.
Wax. They all have that. Every remnant that's conjured up has this touch to it, this artificial touch. You know, it just goes to show that even when they try to mimic true art, it's still inferior.
I mean, it is. AI art is basically the machine learning programs, whether it's Chat, GPT, or it's any of these AI art things, they're basically very, 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 very complex pattern like programs They find patterns in things and deconstruct them, or are able to use those patterns to reconstruct things. So yeah, they're not intelligent. They're just like programs that are using patterns to make estimations of what you're asking for.
You know, from any kind of natural...
It has no context. It has no context for anything because it's not a thinking thing. It's an algorithm. So it just does weird, uncanny stuff because it doesn't know how things are supposed to look.
Organic beauty. So this first rendering I consider to be or to have a direct attachment to this new superhuman altered artificial race, you know, of the next generation, the children of vaccine victims, essentially. Yeah, it's very sad. The blue usually stands for, symbolically, it stands for the jinn.
Oh my god, the AI art program is not putting in symbolism. Jesus fucking Christ. KBS with 26 months says 26 months, this one is a kicker.
So I'm not sure, but I realised in his mind so that he could escape the trauma of eating his little sister. Yeah, it's all about trauma, usually sexual trauma, but sometimes just violent.
Oh my god. This is such a good explanation of death of the author, because in this case there is no real author. He's literally just... This is a Rorschach test. We're watching this man do a Rorschach test, and he doesn't even know it. Gitara says, I wish I could grab this guy and say there's no deeper meaning to AI art. It's just a grift to trick people into paying for a trendy image generator pushed by the same people that pushed NFTs, all at the expense of artists and other people in creative industries.
Predominantly both.
Are you guys excited? Okay, so the writer's strike started, which, hey, good for them. I hope the writers get everything they're asking for. Some dumbass CEO is going to start trying to get scripts from ChatGPT. I guarantee it. It's going to be god-awful.
Sex and violence, right? That's what they're showing you here. Yeah, so the AI seems to like to conjure up these renderings of...
It doesn't like or dislike anything. You are anthropomorphizing math. It's literally a program that is doing this. It does not think. It's math. You're mad at math.
Carly, Jezebel, Horror Babylon. Yeah, the motherboard, Queen Heart Attack. You'll see many of these as we go along. There's another. And another. Yeah. So this is Satan, Satana. In its true likeness. It's a force of femininity.
Satan is a force of femininity. Great. Not how women work on the bingo card.
Yeah, so more of a playful one, but this is a rendering, from what I can see and tell from 5 years of research, of the fallen angels. They are...
My research said by a non-researcher on the bingo card, his 5 years of research has told him that this random AI-generated image of just nonsense noise, this is angels. No, again, it's math trying to make a picture based on millions of other pictures it's seen before. It's pattern seeking. And a lot of images have eyes in them. That's why you see eyes in a lot of bad AI art like this, especially old AI art from like 3 or 4 years ago. You would see had eyes randomly because the program picks up, wow, eyes are in a lot of photos. So it just puts them places. Other like facial features it'll just stick on things. It's a result of bad pattern recognition. It's actually funny. AI kind of works a lot like a conspiracy theorist. It doesn't derive information or conclusions, if you want to call it that, from any sort of context. It's entirely based on pattern recognition. And when that goes wrong, it goes very wrong. So am I saying that the AI overlord will be a conspiracy theorist? No. But I am telling you, get your screaming done now, because you're probably not going to have a mouth later.
Are very eyeball-y. Hence why most technology is. If you look at, you know, some of the portrayals of angels, almost all of them will look, you know, they'll have this all-seeing nature to them.
Have I seen the AI-generated beer commercial? Yes, it was disgusting.
Yeah. Another
so gross.
thing I've noticed about AI remnants, because it's not art, not in my opinion, you'll notice that everything gets
Accidentally based on the bingo card.
merged together, you know, like it's melting together.
You want to get Cronenberg next, do you? I've used some of the, like, I've played around with some of the image generation tools. I think I tried to do a Cronenberg thing. I don't think it worked very well.
Yeah, because that's its nature, to spread, to infect, you know, to merge, merge iron and clay. It's what it is in itself. It's legion, you know, for it is many. There she is again. And again.
Did you literally type into the program Satan? Because if you type in Satan, it's gonna give you Satan.
The ancient dragon. See the wing? Why did they put that in there? It's not even attached to her. Seems a bit unnecessary, doesn't it?
It's an AI. It doesn't know what's necessary and unnecessary. It's math.
Yeah, well, not to them, because they have to show you, they have to tell you. So that the karma, the karmatic, spiritual blood drops are on your fingertips and not theirs. Yeah, so they're running out of time to reach the heavens. Take
Oh, that one's pretty good. That's
why they
very
crave
H.R.
life.
Geiger.
Yours and mine. With the bow art. Whole civilization. That's what it's shockwave.
Dumb people are so funny. They shouldn't amuse me, but they do. I don't know.
Right, break time's over. Everybody
It's like watching a cat do something and you know that they're doing something stupid, but they have no idea, and you see them just absolutely fumble. It's kind of like that.
take your seats. Back to school. Dedication, education.
Is it telling on you if you would marry these Satan women if given the chance? You're just into monsters. That's fine. That's reasonable.
Education is in session. So,
who isn't into tiefling-looking people? I ask you.
For the videos,
there are two kinds of people in this world. People who think tieflings are hot, and liars.
I'm going to be bringing to your attention, I am going to cut off as much fat as I can and leave you nothing but the meat from now on. So, here we go. They start off with a robotic arm. Robotic is Robotnik, okay? The Russian word for slave. That is what they are going to try and make all of you before they run out of time, because it is ticking. They open up with this robotic hand, holding Saturn within its palm, okay?
That's the BBC logo paused. That is not Saturn.
Because that is where all this transhumanistic shit is coming from.
This guy's gonna shit on prosthetics, by the way, just so you know. This video's him gonna be saying that prosthetics are like satanic or something.
It is the Saturnian teachings of the Ashkenazi, Khazarian, Kabbalistic, Babylonian, Talmudic synagogue of Satana.
Bionic arms that we're making now are going to soldiers in Ukraine who've lost limbs in the war.
This factory in Bristol is...
So I'll just show you the front image that they're using for this report. So they're giving you the left hand.
We had word salad already before. Chromatic Cuttlefish says there are 10 kinds of people, those who know binary and those who don't. I get it. I get it.
Well, we know what that is, don't we? Brothers and sisters. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Well, we know
I
what
saw
that
This factory
a
in Bristol
hussy.
is
So I'll just show you the front image that they're using for this report. So they're giving you the left hand. Well, we know what that is, don't we, brothers and sisters? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a hussy.
Oh, yeah. Notice that it's black, of course. Yeah, that tracks also. Now look in the middle, in the palm.
Is he just surprised that a lot of art involves hands? Hands are the primary way in which human beings interact with the world around them. We perceive things with our senses, but when we interact with things, 90% of the time it's with our hands, right? That's one of our, like, things, is that we have very, like, precise movements with our hands that even other apes fail to have. We're incredibly, like, versatile in what we can do with our hands and opposable thumbs. Hands are important to people, so that's why they're depicted a lot.
You'll see the eye. Now I know it's on the back of the hand.
Pretty sure that's a sensor of some kind. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but that doesn't look like an eye. That looks like a sensor.
But that's not
Or a sticker or something.
what's important. What is important is the colour. Why is it pink?
Is it pink? I can't tell with the lighting.
Because pink is the chakra energy of
That's purple.
violence.
Maybe lilac.
Violence. Yeah. Soldiers. Men of violence. That's where they told you these arms are going to. Who they're going to be connected to. But in order to connect, they need to merge iron with clay. Okay? Cybernetics. You can't be completely transformed. They need the two to stick and, more importantly, stay stuck. Hence, why they have an organic hand on the right. The right hand path is organic, isn't it? Holding
Kind of depends on what hand they lose, isn't it?
this robotic arm, right? Okay, so last but not least, let's look at the pattern on this
1 second, checking something.
product. You guessed it, it's covered in tiny little seals of Saturn,
That's a cool furball.
just to hold the dark art magic in of these cube worshipping Kabbalists. The clan Destine, as I call them. Speaking of which, sorrow points to anyone who has noticed the little message they've left on the left there. Set in order, hidden but not too much. Yeah, left out just enough for those who can notice to notice, right? Set in order, but the arrows are turning, they're going backwards, right? Yeah, okay. So it's about chaos, isn't it?
No, it's about giving people the use of, like, limbs back, which is a great thing.
The chaos that this technology is going to bring.
Like, unironically, I'm done with this guy, because the rest of the video is just this. If this guy lost his arm and was offered one of these things, not a chance in a million years he turns it down. Gail, what's going on?
But at least they got it away from the poor Mexicans. But it's hot on Church of Gale's trail. We need scientists. Email us at gailcordschuler@gmail.com. The link will be underneath this video. The tacos are shooting at their communication array, so I may lose Terrance. I'm in the middle of the Skype with him. The shield turned the Pukaki into tacos and burritos. And we had one, but apparently the Jesuits...
Normally, my body turns tacos and burritos into a pukaki.
...sabotaged the shield, and...
Not the other way around.
So, we...
A pukaki is like a new cocky, but it's, it's... I like that it went from nuclear weapon and bukkake, new cocky, to now it's a pukaki? Even though the cocky part was about the cum, right? But she made it a poo cocky? Whatever.
Scientists...
It's a poop bomb. It's a nuclear shit bomb, is what she thinks it is.
Try contacting Gail Kordschuler at gmail.com. And so just, we need some help. It's an emergency, okay? And also, Barack Obama, if you're listening to me, Church of Gail is being attacked by a giant sentient burrito and taco. So.
Well, all right, Gail. All right. Here she is 2 days ago.
All right. I'm going to be reading another story from Zach Knight. I apologize for being late.
No, I'm not going to do more, Gail. That's enough.
Hey, friendly reminder.
This is apparently a flat earther that's like really big on TikTok now. Not good.
Hey, friendly reminder. NASA is trying to tell children and everyone that lives in this realm that we are on a spinning magical water ball chasing the sun at over 651 times the speed of sound, traveling over 4.4 billion miles every single year since the beginning of time, supposedly. But all of the stars have realigned in the exact same spot.
Since the beginning of time?
Every 365 days for centuries. Makes sense of that.
Wonder if this guy really believes this bullshit or if he just wants TikTok clout. It's tough to say. Alright, I think that's it for the day. We've been going for 3 hours. The official term is spinning a wet ball. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. This was day 2 of 5 days of maid outfit that you guys earned because someone was nice enough to donate for my dentist appointment. So 3 more days. 3 more days of maid outfit. So let's see who gets raided. I think we raided Jack recently. We could do Willow. Oh! Cassafel's on. We haven't raided Cassafel in a while. Alright. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out and doing conspiracies and stuff with me. I will be back. Gosh, am I going to be back tomorrow? Probably. I have D&D tomorrow, but I should stream earlier in the day. Because I missed 2 days. Love you too, Mr. Blast. Have a great night, everyone. And I'll see you tomorrow, or whenever you are nice enough to come and see me. See you guys later. Have a good night. Oh, I gotta hit the button. It would help if I hit the button.